The time someone said middays will never be the same again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning to everybody listening on the good old-fashioned 97.5 frequency, WPEN-FM. Good morning. Good morning to everybody listening on the Fanatic app worldwide. An amazing app you should download and listen right now. And good morning to everybody watching on YouTube. Good morning. Subscribe. Hit that little thumbs up button. Like it. Good morning to Ray Dunn. Raymond, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Can't
Even
complain.
after Temple loses in overtime last night?
Yeah, tough one last night. Tough one for the Owls. Third time in the last 4 games against Charlotte they go to overtime.
Oh, what a rivalry.
It's been intense, back and forth.
As we say good morning to Sean Brace. What's up there?
I tuned in. I was checking Ray out. Nothing but nylon done. I was and Mark Jackson on the call, ESPN Plus.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I didn't stay with you through overtime, though. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, to check out
a view is a view, whether it's in the second half, first half.
Engagement
pre-game.
is engagement.
Because if you pick up your, like on my phone, I don't know why, but it tells me whenever there's a Temple game on ESPN Plus. So that's when I'm reminded. I'm like, oh, I can tune in, and I'll normally watch a couple minutes of Ray.
That's pretty big, man.
Yeah.
Ray's a superstar.
Look at him.
Ray's a star. The chat loves him. He's hanging out with Mark Jackson, making the call on Temple Owls.
Can we get Nate to see if there was any? We need a new cut. The only thing we have is how about that? We need another Ray play-by-play cut.
When's your next ESPN Plus game?
Well, we can just go. You can go
Not
through
till the 15th of February. I only have 2 ESPN Plus games left this season.
All right, well,
wow.
So many national games for Temple.
No, so
this year.
Nate, how we got the soccer game, the women's soccer game was you can go ESPN.com and just. You can go through the game.
Oh.
You can archive it.
Whoa.
So we should be able to go through right now and archive it. Like a lot of times you can also see the highlights.
Yep.
But you need the highlights don't you need a little bit longer of a runway for it.
Yeah.
Like the how about that was that was a gem.
Yeah, I mean that also would have been in the highlights if there were a highlights cut of that.
Right. We actually had to go through and get that. Yeah. How about that? So Nate, if you're listening back there, get us a highlight from last night. Get us a new how about that from Ray. But anyway, oh, my God, John, we have so much going on with the Eagles without really anything going on at all. How about Shefty yesterday coming off the top rope? It's the biggest story in Philadelphia. Heard right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Possibly, it might be even bigger than the Super Bowl, and I'm not lying to you. Like, the Super Bowl is ho-hum. There are people, like, the biggest thing about the Super Bowl right now is the fact that people are just trashing the Patriots and how bad they really are.
Well, I mean, I have no interest in the Super Bowl. So
Nobody does.
Yeah, I have no interest.
Nobody does.
Not yet, at least.
That snippet by Schefter, that throwaway line at the end, which he knows what he's doing, and the boys were able to get a little bit out of him, and he would not have given them the answer. So it was perfect, and then that was everywhere. And I know they said it earlier. When they run ESPN on the NFL Network, on CBS, and so on and so forth, you know it's a big deal.
Yep.
But
all right, well, here's how if you missed it yesterday, here's how it sounded.
And maybe it'll be even more than that by next week.
what are you hinting at?
Maybe it'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, you see how flirty he was when he said it?
That's a good
You hear?
word.
We'll see.
Well, you know.
Oh, Shefty. Oh, Shefty, you devil.
That is so good. Yes, but when you have the information that everybody wants and we starve for everything NFL, Shefty knows.
All right, so what is it?
He's that hot chick in high school. That's what Shefty is.
Believe me, we have so much Eagles to do today. We have the offensive coordinator search. We have there's some sound about Jalen Hurts that we're going to play here in the first segment. We're going to have the voice of the Packers coming up because this Sean Mannion dude is really intriguing to me.
Oh, yeah.
So the longtime voice of the Packers is going to join us at 11:30 to tell us his thoughts on him. But here's what we went through yesterday live on the air because Shefty said it, and then we're on the air an hour later, and then we're kind of going through what is it, and then John Kincade texts out or tweets out, could it be a stadium thing? So it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then a lot of people, of course, say, well, maybe Lane Johnson is retiring. And then a lot of people on social media were saying, Vic Fangio, is he retiring? I can tell you this, the Vic Fangio retirement thing, and I put a video up last night on YouTube, on the Fanatics YouTube page. Vic Fangio is not retiring. If Vic Fangio was going to retire, he's a pro. You do it at the end of the season, so now the Eagles can prepare and hire a new coordinator. The top coordinators are already off the board. They lost an in-house guy to go to the Cowboys. Christian Parker.
You're at Packers on the brain.
Yeah, I do. To be their defensive coordinator, Fangio knows that if he's going to retire, he's going to do it so they can get their guy. Vic Fangio's not retiring unless something happened health-wise, and that's not what how Schefter sounded, right?
No. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Christian Parker, we had somebody, I believe it was Zach Berman or Jeff Mosher, one of the two last week, that said that they really thought highly of Christian Parker and that was the hope.
That everybody, I think Zach Berman said that everybody knew that they only had him temporarily because he was going to be going somewhere.
And they were hoping that he would hold off and then take over for Fangio, but that's not going to be the case because Vic Fangio isn't going anywhere. And that's a good thing, John Mark. So what is it? I was kind of like, you're trying to hear exactly how he's saying it, a little bit of smirk and some of the inflection, the voice inflection, and of course the words that he used, the exact wording. I thought it was something big, but not in the realm of Nick Sirianni's out.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I didn't even take it as a player retiring or a coach retiring. I kind of took it as like, yeah, I got news for you. And my mind went to Jeffrey Lurie. And I thought they're trying to make his son, he's obviously going to hand over the reins to his son in some capacity. I don't know what that is. And from what I've heard, and people have been saying this for a little while now, that, yeah, he's going to be the president of the team. Maybe Dom Splinsky takes another
Because if you listen to what he said, and I don't know if it was in that cut, but maybe an extended cut. He said, so it didn't sound like he was saying he's going to be breaking it. He's speaking like we'll be talking about something else as well next week.
Correct.
In other words, something's going to happen between now and when I join you guys next.
Yeah.
So I initially I didn't think. What did I say, Ray, yesterday on the air? I said I'd be shocked if it was Lane Johnson.
Yep.
And then you said, I don't know. A lot of the beats are saying they're kind of unsure about Lane Johnson, right?
Or the way they've worded the offensive coordinator search is an offensive coordinator has to come in with the uncertainty surrounding A.J. Brown and Lane Johnson. And say, well, if you're putting Lane Johnson in the same sentence as A.J. Brown, I feel very uncertain about A.J. Brown. I didn't feel uncertain too much about Lane Johnson.
I didn't feel uncertain at all, but when the beats say that, so a lot of times when you say something like that, you have information that you're not reporting. You're forming your opinion based on what you're hearing. So you're not going to come out and say Lane Johnson's retiring or I think Lane Johnson could retire. But if you're hearing whispers, hey, maybe Lane's not coming back or no one's heard from Lane or there's talk that maybe he's not coming back, that's when you would hear something like that. So when Ray said that, I was like, I hadn't heard that. I hadn't thought of that. And then when you combine that with the injury stuff, I always believe with Lane Johnson, as long as he was productive, he's playing. Last year, did the play slip? He was just injured. It wasn't just a foot injury. He couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay on the field. He couldn't finish games. So he didn't. Jason Peters dropped off and couldn't finish games and couldn't stay healthy.
Yep.
Lane may not be the same player he was a year ago or 2 years ago, but he also is still one of the top tackles in football, right? Like everybody would say that. He just couldn't stay healthy. But the health stuff would be a real concern. And you don't know where Lane's head's at.
No.
But he's also making like $30 million a year.
And that's a hard thing to turn down and walk away from. But he's been in the league a long time. This is Chip Kelly.
What
Kelly
a draft
era.
pick.
Yeah, what a draft pick. He had a couple good draft picks, Zach Ertz. We can go down the line. I know everybody likes to rip Chip. Somewhat of a Chip guy, but...
Or was that a Howie draft pick? So we never know what the line of demarcation was. Remember with Andy Reid, we never knew if it was Andy Reid that made the pick. Was it Howie that made the pick? Was it Joe Benner that made the pick?
A lot like the NFL Hall of Fame. I want to know. Put your name on the dotted line.
Do your investigation.
I would just say.
So anyway.
Yeah, Lane Johnson could be.
Probably not. Last night I was like, wow, is it Lane? So and you know what? I'm with you now. I think this is Schefter messing with us, and it's like, remember when Schefter said, "Oh, that's more important to you than it is to me"?
Yeah.
I think this is more important to him than it is to us. Does that make sense?
This is something that's just throwing it out there, and it will be a story. It will be something of significance, of importance, but
it better be.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's a player stepping down or a coach moving on or whatever it may be.
Nick Sirianni is being transferred to defense to be the defensive coordinator? No? Not it?
I'll sign up for that.
Hell yeah.
Ray, where's your head at today with this? Then we'll move on.
I'm just trying to go through all the dumb thoughts I could process of what Shefty would be more excited about than us. What if Shefty's like thrilled that Brandon Graham's retiring a second time and he's going to join like the Super Bowl coverage for ESPN? Because he did the ESPN tryout.
Thank you, 97.5.
And he's like, yo, you guys are going to love our Super Bowl coverage on ESPN. And this is just a long con of promotion for him for ESPN.
How about this? 975 Middays, and then also in the YouTube chat. Wrong answers only. All right. So put out a tweet. Wrong answers only. What is Schefter? What was Schefter hinting at yesterday? Wrong answers only.
Deshaun Jackson, new offensive coordinator. There you go.
Hey, how about the job he did this year with Delaware State? More games than they won like ever.
You can't
I'm
knock
as shocked,
it.
dude. I'm shocked as anybody.
I'll tell you what, the attention that game got between him and
It was
Vic,
pretty cool.
yeah, that was next level.
It was really cool.
It's about as big as it gets for those schools.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I'm happy for those guys. All right, so which one do we start with Jalen Hurts, Ray? The silver or the other one?
Both silver.
So they're both. So is this on with McClain? Jeff
This is
McClain?
on McClain.
So
Yep.
Mike Silver, who blocked Sean Brace on Twitter.
Blocked me a couple seasons ago. Only a few guys have blocked me. Barnwell, the big dude from ESPN,
Yep,
Bill
the bald
Barnwell,
guy,
yeah. Good-looking guy, you mean?
Well, he used to work with Shield. Him and Shield Kapadia had like an ESPN thing going on.
He was all
no, I
yeah,
know.
you
Believe
know.
me, I know.
And then this dude, Silver, who is a 49er supporter through and through, so he's licking his chops and he gets to take a shot at us. But hey, I digress. It was a good conversation with Jeff McClain.
All right, so what do we got first?
We'll start with the little Jordan jokes.
All right, so here's Mike Silver, NFL Network, longtime national NFL reporter, on with Jeff McClain talking about Jalen Hurts.
Jalen's not really hanging out. And so, is he a loner? Is he just kind of disconnected from his teammates, away from the facility? Does he have different priorities? Maybe all of that. But it's easier when it's enough one of the guys. And Joe Montana was one of the guys.
Oh.
Dan Marino, John Elway. Even when they were huge, they were one of the guys. Brady started out as one of the guys. I think it became harder. But like when you're connected enough to the other people that you're vulnerable and they're vulnerable, then those jokes kind of, they have a little meeting and maybe you adjust your behavior. I think this sounds more like they're trying to mess with him to make it like that, but I don't know if he's taking it in that spirit. It seems like he's like, yeah, I am Michael Jordan. Play harder.
Y.A. Tittle was one of the guys.
Oh, yeah.
John Brody.
Loved getting a beer with YA.
One of the guys.
Go belly up.
So what he's saying is that they're calling him Little Jordan, trying to mess around with him, and Jalen's not really a guy to mess around with. He's not really a guy that likes to mess around. Hey, I mean, I don't think he's really breaking any news here. In 2023, it was well known and reported that he rubbed a lot of his teammates the wrong way. Remember him sitting on the bench towards the end of the season when they were losing games by themselves.
Yeah.
And I remember after the season, Howard Eskin had come out and said that a lot of the veterans, and he named Fletcher Cox by name, had a major problem with Jalen's behavior. And I heard a lot. Anybody that covers the team, or it's around the team, or it's involved in the media, had heard a lot of the same things. That Jalen had changed a little bit from the big contract and being in the Super Bowl. And my reaction was, yeah, that happens to a lot of people.
Yes.
And by all accounts, he made big adjustments in 2024, and he made more of an effort to be relatable and to have relationship with guys and things like that. And they won the Super Bowl. But that doesn't mean that he walks around. Jalen's a walking one-liner with things that he says, right? Like, it doesn't surprise me that the guys are like trying to mess around with him, and he's just kind of like aloof to it.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing that makes me chuckle.
I would say from Silver's standpoint, like you pointed out, he's not breaking anything. We've heard this before, and the Jordan comparison is there because it's low-hanging fruit. He is one of the very few NFL players that are actually sponsored by
On the
Jordan
brand now.
I don't know too many of those guys that actually have relationships with Michael Jordan. Jalen does. He went out for him. So if you remember, the Last Dance in that documentary where Jordan choked up and he's like, hey, man, I probably rubbed my teammates the wrong way. I think Jalen probably saw that and said, you know what? Like, that's what
I got to do. That's what I got to do.
that comes with the territory. Like, I want to raise everybody's game up. I'm not here to mess around. I actually appreciate that. Now, there is a line, and maybe you need to suck it up and have an ice cold Coke with the boys after practice one day. I don't know. For the camaraderie, for the chemistry. What about the passing camps? Are they having that with Jalen? Is Jalen rolling out the red carpet for the team down there in
wherever
in Florida, wherever it may be? Because those things do go a long way when you're building a team and it starts fresh year after year. But as far as like Jalen being a different guy, that's not a facade. We see that daily. He is. Does he try too hard in that department? I could probably get down with that. But he's real in my eyes.
All right, here's another one with Silver. Now, this is interesting. This hasn't been said by anybody, at least publicly, before. Here it is.
When Kellen Moore was there in that Super Bowl season in 24, he just kind of coached through it, just said, I'm not indulging the quarterback. I'm not over communicating with him. I'm just going to tell people what we're running. We're going to be a run first team with Saquon Barkley and this great offensive line and whatever. I'm calling the plays and I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about it.
Yeah, and I didn't hear any other context from that, but he's, I guess, referring to the relationship he had with Jalen Hurts. And I'll tell you, I've heard the same thing, that Kellen Moore was kind of like, on Jalen Hurts. They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying Kellen Moore wouldn't have come back to be the offensive coordinator or whatever, but like we were saying before, sometimes people that you work with or people that you play with, or you're going to kind of be like, I don't particularly care for that guy or whatever. We've all been there in places that we've worked or people that we've worked with, both in media and out of media or whatever.
Are you hitting your goals? That's all that matters, right?
Yep.
Like in the 9-to-5 world, if you're hitting your goals, look, everybody's happy. The boss isn't going to chew you out on Fridays during the meeting. My wife is constantly on those calls, and we know it. When things are going well, the boss is happy, and everybody is doing the right thing. But things, when they're not hitting their numbers and under the quota, then things are going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be a dicey situation. For Kellen Moore, I don't know, it strikes me as, look, he's been a quarterback his whole life. I think he was 6 years as an offensive coordinator before the Eagles in 2024, so he's had a long time of dealing with quarterbacks. Maybe Jalen probably had success doing some things on his own, a different play here, a different play there. That team was really talented. Maybe that rubbed Kellen Moore the wrong way.
What did we hear this year? What was the reports that came out this year in the media when they were offense was struggling? That you go through practice all week, he's doing what he's supposed to do in practice, and then the game happens, and he's not doing what's in the game.
And that worked last year. Because everything worked last year.
Well, when I say last year, I mean this year.
Super Bowl championship year with Kellen Moore.
They won.
I joke. Sorry, Nick. I think I could have won a Super Bowl with that team.
So here's the real question. Obviously, there's a reputation for Jalen Hurts. We just heard that from Michael Silver, right? If Mike Silver is going out and saying that,
there's definitely a reputation for, because somebody made a joke on SportsCenter this morning about him.
Yep, there's a reputation. So if there's a reputation that Mike Silver's comfortable talking about in an interview, like very comfortable talking about in an interview, I can guarantee you that every offensive coordinator and every offensive coach in the NFL knows about the reputation of Jalen Hurts. So for the first time, I'm going to examine and ask how much of the reasoning behind the top offensive coordinators not coming here is Jalen Hurts. Because I've always said it's a part of it.
Yeah.
It is a part of it. Is it maybe a bigger part of it than I initially have given credit for?
Look, there's been plenty of quarterbacks that won Super Bowls before, young quarterbacks, somewhat coming out of nowhere, right? But Jalen is a different monster when he gets up on the podium after winning Super Bowl. Goes, I had a purpose before everybody had an opinion. Like, he's got bars, and that irks people. And people could look at that going, oh, yeah, he's full of himself, whatever. But I got news for you. The majority of those guys that suit up on Sundays are full of themselves, okay? You don't get to be a professional athlete playing a game. I was just thinking about this A.J. Brown and the money that he makes. Like, let's just say $30 million.
Right.
And that dude is miserable half the time. $30 million and you come into work miserable?
Money doesn't equal happiness.
Don't worry about it. Enjoy the win, man.
I know.
All right, coming up, James Palmer. Last week mentioned something about Kellen Moore. We have that audio coming up. And also we mentioned Shefty and his we'll see comment. But wait to hear what he said on NFL Live yesterday about the potential for an offensive coordinator if they can't find somebody who could be calling plays for the Eagles. Wait till you hear this. 610-632-0975. And Jalen Hurts, is he really hurting the offensive coordinator search? We're going to find out. And we're going to go over a bunch of the coordinators as well today because maybe there could be some news. We've had second interviews for a bunch of candidates. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
We'll see. I'm already done with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's the comment that you continue to find everywhere on your timeline. Adam Schefter on with Kincade and Salciunas yesterday, talking about the offensive coordinator search and then dropping this nugget with the guys.
And maybe there'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe there'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see.
We'll see. We don't know what it is, but there's apparently some Eagles news that's going to come down in the next week, according to Adam Schefter, on top of the offensive coordinator search, which continues this week with Sean Mannion and Jim Bob Cooter both getting second interviews with the Birds. Flyers lost 5-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets last night. Dan Ballard returned in net. Travis Konechny had a hat trick in the game, but again, they fall 5-3 to Columbus. They got the Bruins tonight at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that game on WMMR because you can listen to the Sixers here on the Fanatic tonight as they host the Kings. That game at 7 o'clock. This update brought to you by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. They're anything but your usual nugs at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only while supplies last. I'm Ray Down, your home for the Sixers Flyers, the best bird stock in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
any number of candidates. They don't appear to be in any rush to name somebody. They have Nick Sirianni, who always could call the offense if they can't find somebody worthy of doing the job. But they're being diligent, looking for the right match. And also, again, the fit is not for everybody, as we've seen. Some people have taken other jobs. Some people have pulled out of consideration. It's not for everybody, but they think there are enough good candidates out there that they're going to come out of this with a good, strong offensive coordinator.
That's in my notes.
So the important part of that was the beginning, which was, well, Nick Sirianni could just call plays himself.
Hell yeah.
Well, actually,
so much good.
Actually, Adam,
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
No, he can't. That's the whole point of this search, is that he's not going to call plays all by himself, right?
Fine line.
Well, I think, you said something yesterday on the show, which was perfectly stated, because this is the time the Eagles are definitely tail between the legs, and now there's crumbs being dropped to some of these media members, and they're putting it out there. And Schefter is one of those guys. I don't know if that comment. I actually read into that comment a little bit differently, John, and I'll tell you where I'm at is, yeah, I think it's this upcoming season, no matter who the guy is, the OC, it's all in. It's all in on Nick Sirianni, and it's all in on Jalen Hurts. And that's coming from the top down, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. Like, you guys, this is up to you now. Like, there's no more excuses.
Right.
Hey, Nick, if it's going south, you better get in there and call plays. Like, that's going to happen. It's not a matter if he can or he can't. I'm with you. I don't think he can, but enough of the excuses.
Well, whether or not he can adequately do that, or he's willing to do it, they've showed you no reason to believe that they want him or are going to allow him to do that, right? Ray, do you have any reason to believe the Eagles are going to say, all right, well, Jim Bob Cooter really isn't the guy, and Matt Nagy, we don't want him. You know what, Nick? We're just going to give you the job, so you're going to call plays, no offensive coordinator, and we'll bring Patullo back.
Oh, we would explode. I think the town would burn. I think that'd be it.
Patullo can't come back.
Especially the offense itself would burn.
Patullo's not coming back. My point is that I don't even know if he knows what he's talking about. Nick Sirianni's not going to be the offensive coordinator and call plays this year.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
There's guys that are out there. Matt Nagy is a professional offensive coordinator that has called plays and has been a head coach in this league. Jim Bob Cooter, who has a great name,
Coots,
has called plays in this league. You have Sean Mannion, who we're going to talk about with the voice of the Packers coming up at 11:30. He is one of these intriguing candidates that is on the McVay tree. Here's my question. I'm glad you said what you said, Sean. Here's my question about the whole thing. So are they looking at a guy like Mannion? Why would you bring in a guy like Sean Mannion, who's 33 years old? He has 2 years of professional coaching. He left the playing field, or like the practice squad, and he went right to Green Bay, and then he was the quarterback's coach the following year. And now he's interviewing to be an offensive coordinator. Why would they hire him? Because if he comes here and he shows this innovative offense and he's a great play caller and he's the next young stud, he's going to get plucked away by another team.
Correct.
So why would you bring in that guy for a year if he's only going to be here for a year? Unless you interviewed him and you're like, wow, this guy's good. Like, this guy could be the next young guy. And they almost look at him and say, he could be our next head coach. Now, the problem is, if they come out next year and they win, you're not going to fire Nick Sirianni.
But that's a good problem to have, as they say. And it answers your question, right? Like, hey, if Nick Sirianni continues to get to Super Bowls and win a Super Bowl, and oh, by the way, next year is the year that they do that, according to history, then okay, then you live with the fact that you brought in a new guy, and now he's off coaching some other team in the NFL. That's a good thing. That's a plus.
Or do they whack him?
Or they whack him, and
Sirianni, and then they keep the young guy.
And this is the guy. This is the future.
Because with Nagy, he's not coming in to be a potential replacement for Sirianni if things go fast. Jim Bob Cooter seems more like an offensive coordinator than a guy that is going to be the head coach. But a young guy like Mannion, who he obviously interviewed very well if he came in and he's getting a second interview.
Yeah, people are praising him. There's a lot of praise around the league, even in his limited time, but a lot of people have been speaking pretty highly in Green Bay quarters, no doubt about that. I would just say it's a fascinating conversation to go from him and Coots. Am I allowed to coots him?
Coot him.
Can I coot him?
Gee.
I can coots him?
Coots him.
All right. Jim Bob Cooter. Yeah, Coots. It's a fascinating, conversation between the two because you have a guy that's ho-hum, in Cooter. He's deserved the opportunity to get to the table, to interview twice. If you do well, that's fine. And then you get this new young whippersnapper with no experience play calling at the professional level, which, oh, by the way, I would vote against that 10 out of 10 times going into this year.
Yeah.
You had that opportunity with Petulo. That went wrong. So unless this guy is making you dance, making you go all Adam Schefter giddy after he leaves the room, there's no way I'm hiring Sean Mannion. No way. But to your point, I think you're onto something.
You wonder why.
Yep.
So, and we're going to have Dave Zungaro from NBC Sports Philadelphia coming up. First time on the show for Dave. Haven't had him on since we
actually watched that show a ton on NBC Sports. It's a good show.
Birds Huddle, is it called?
Yes.
Yeah, Dave does a great job. We'll get his insights on what he thinks because Nagy is considered I know that you're all naggied up. You were all naggied up earlier in the week.
Had to be nagged up.
That's all right. I'm nagged up. So I actually got to get, because this is something that Ray said when I talked about Nagy. Ray, when I say Nagy for the offensive coordinator, what do you say?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, because the offense wasn't great last year, and why wouldn't they bring him back if because Nagy went and interviewed to be a head coach,
sure,
and his contract was expiring, and they hired Eric Bieniemy to come back to be the offensive coordinator. So why wouldn't they want him back if he's such a good offensive coordinator?
I love the fact that we go with the recent sample size, though, and that was the previous year. Oh, by the way, he was there the 3 previous years of that. Pretty successful run by the Kansas City Chiefs last time I checked.
Well, Ray was saying otherwise, I think. With
yeah,
their
we
offense.
butted
More
heads.
recent top 10 scoring offense. Matt Nagy with the greatest quarterback I've watched, or Brian Johnson with the 2023 Eagles?
Again.
Who's their best wide receiver?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce? Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can put a lot of that on Andy Reid. And by the way, it's Andy Reid's offense. So,
all right, so now you're working with this guy.
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
Now, I really think that you got a lot of help to redesign that offense.
All right, so here's what I was told. I have somebody that works in the I'll just say in the Chiefs area of Kansas City. Tells me the following. He says he told Andy at the beginning of the year that after this season he wanted to pursue being a head coach or being his own offensive coordinator. So he chose not to resign here. So he told Andy at the beginning of the season, it was the final year of a contract. He said, listen, I'm going to leave after this year because I want to be a head coach. Or if I'm not going to be a head coach, Andy Reid's the offensive coordinator. Even if Matt Nagy calls plays, it's not his offense. He comes to Philadelphia, it's his offense. He goes to Tennessee, it's his offense. He goes to the Giants, it's his offense, right? So he's actually the offensive coordinator. Andy Reid's overseeing everything. He wouldn't have that. So at this point in his career, that's what he wanted. So it made me feel a little bit better, at least, that they wanted him to come back, but he didn't want to come back because he needed more out of what he was doing.
Yeah, look, he was the coach of the year. Won 12 games.
Double
with Chicago.
doink.
Yeah, Chicago Bears. 12 games.
With Mitch Trubisky. How about that, Ray?
No, they went 8-8 the following year, the following 2 seasons, and then 6 wins the on the way out. But all in all, coach of the year, you can't take that off his mantle.
He was coach of the year.
Yeah.
And a few months before he was coach of the year, Aaron Nola was a top 3 Cy Young finalist. Real recent season for Matt Nagy.
about that?
Oh, so now hold on. You're Mr. Nola.
Yeah, he's all Nola up.
I've said this a million times. We do that caveat with Nola that he was a Cy Young finalist, and go back and tell me what you were doing the year he was a Cy Young finalist, because your life is totally different.
The difference is that's Nola's arm, which he doesn't have the same arm. This is the same coach.
Yes, it is. The same coach that went from coach of the year to 8 wins, to 8 wins, to 6 wins.
So let me ask you this. Regardless of who they hire, isn't it really coming down to the players? Isn't the Eagles' whole philosophy, it's about getting the best players, it's about getting good coaching, of course, but it's about getting the best players and then just winning. Nick Sirianni is not hired because he's some offensive wizard. He fits a role in the organization. And then they want the offensive coordinator to call the plays, and they want Vic Fangio to oversee the entire defense. I'm not telling you that when this process started out, Ray, that Matt Nagy was at the top of my list. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go and get Matt Nagy.
You might have got laughed at if you did.
Yeah, I would have laughed at myself.
Yes, that too.
Would have been called rage bait, clickbait.
Right, exactly. Would have been crazy. But now that we're staring down the barrel of Matt Nagy or Jim Bob Cooter or a 33-year-old guy, Matt Nagy don't look so bad anymore.
I don't think I look at all three of those candidates and I can find pluses. Of course, there's minuses with all of them, and I'm not trying to give a cop out. But all in all, I'm not going to be disappointed. I saw a lot of people on my timeline freaking out when Joe Brady said no and Brian Dable went to Tennessee. Dable was an interesting case. I will give you that. Joe Brady was never leaving Buffalo
if he got the head coaching job.
They were never going to allow him to leave. In my opinion.
You're right.
But here we are. And now, look, you have those three candidates. But quickly on this, about the coaching, we talked about Sam Darnold on Monday. Glad to see you're better.
Kind of.
We missed you. Sam Darnold, pretty good coach in O'Connell in Minnesota. Pretty good coach out there in Seattle with Kubiak. Apparently he might be the guy in Vegas. Coaching matters, right? Like
For sure.
If they had anybody other than Patullo, somebody with a creative bone in their body that didn't run hitch after hitch after hitch.
I think organization matters, too. If Pat Mahomes gets drafted by the Jets, how many Super Bowls does he have? Sam Darnold gets drafted by the Jets, he looks like he can't play.
I wish we can go back and turn back the hands of time and put Mahomes on the Jets just to answer that question.
That'd
That's
be fun.
A great question.
All right, coming up earlier in the show, we talked about Kellen Moore's season in Philly, how it impacts the OC search. James Palmer, our NFL insider, talked about that on Friday. We'll play that for you. Dave Zingaro on the offensive coordinator search coming up at 11 o'clock. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right. Everybody, actually, I got a text message from somebody today. I'll just say a friend texted me. And he said, listening to you right now from Morgenstern Medical Office. That's right, his 6-month checkup. So he had the procedure done 6 months ago, and I've seen the results. The results are amazing. He had a hair transplant. And he did because he saw the results that I had. He saw the results that many of my listeners and people that have reached out have had. You can have the same results. So if you're balding, and you say, you know what, hair transplant makes a lot of sense for me. If you're saying, you know what, just starting to go bald, not liking where the hairline's going, there's a lot of different options. That's what Morgenstern Hair is all about. Advanced hair restoration that's backed by a team over 30 years of experience. It's a new year. Get your new hairline. Own it. Experience you can trust. Results that you can see. Every treatment plan, like I was talking about, is personalized, natural-looking results designed to last. Right now, $500 off hair transplants for new patients. Their number, 610-831-HAIR. Tell them John Mark sent you. 610-831-HAIR or Morgenstern Hair. That's Morgan with an E. Morgensternhair.com.
The Sixers are opening eyes.
in the quarterback situation. They are going, can I run exactly what I want to run? I would assume that Kellen has talked to enough people and friends around the league that are also offensive minds. I'm not saying he's spreading rumors, but all these guys talk, and I think he's saying, I couldn't run certain things that I wanted to run. Now, he did a great job again, and they scored points, and I think whoever comes in has the ability to do that. I just think there is an aspect of the offense, and it's still Nick's offense, and you're coming in, with an offensive-minded head coach, per se, into that situation to where there's some things that might hold you back from doing the stuff that you want to do.
All right, that's James Palmer. Really good cut that when he said it, like today, it's like, all right, because you think about it, yeah, he's not spreading rumors. No, he's just talking to his buddies.
I was just saying, he said that with us?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't even remember that, but that's fine. Whatever, we're putting that to the side for just a second. Then you combine with what Silver said to McClain on his podcast about Kellen Moore, and it's like, okay, interesting. What the hell really was happening behind the scenes in that Super Bowl run?
Well, I mean, did everybody see the offense last year?
They were, again, last year, meaning the team that just lost to the 49ers.
2025.
So, 49ers lost.
Yes.
The offense struggled.
Right.
Yes.
So, do you see how the quarterback played last year? So, it's anybody in the NFL, there's no surprise that Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP that is definitely a winner and has intangibles that everybody likes. But as far as running an offense, a modern NFL offense, you're going to have to be creative to try to make it work. I mean, right?
It's fair. It's fair. It's hard to argue. And I think it really makes me look back at this past season going, did they just waste an opportunity with this talent? Like, this was a golden opportunity. Come on, the Seahawks, they're good. They're beatable. You own the Rams. If the Rams had to come here, who knows? Could they have beaten? Man. I don't want to go down that path.
Man, Sean, you're still there?
No, I'm not. I'm not there, but I am there throughout the course of the season.
This team wasn't winning anything.
They wasted an opportunity by Kevin Petula getting the opportunity to be the OC, and Sirianni made that call. That's all. And it irks me.
There you go.
And I'm telling you right now, Nick Sirianni, he's on the hot seat. He is on the hot seat. He's hot.
It's warm. It's warm. It is. Don't think for a second that the Eagles won't whack him after next year. Don't think for a second. We know that.
He can't.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
He deserved an opportunity. All right, you got the opportunity. There it is, and then you just wasted that golden opportunity with all the talent, all the money spent on offense.
Yeah, I'm far less. It's so hard to win back-to-back years, and I know nobody wants to hear that. It's so hard to win back-to-back years. They won last year. They won the Super Bowl in 2024 playing checkers. They couldn't play checkers last year. And now I worry that all this talent we're talking about, do they really have all this talent?
Well, that's...
I mean, they don't have... I mean, They still have talent. Do they have all this talent?
Well, AJ's going to be gone. Dallas, he probably played himself into a really good contract.
I don't know. Is he back?
No, I don't think he can afford... Well...
He could be back. If AJ leaves, he could be back.
I think he's going to get a nice paycheck from somebody else.
Sure is.
Play great.
Well, he's going to get a big paycheck. I mean, here's the other thing. You're paying him. That was a great value. They just let Josh Sweat walk doing the exact same thing. He looked. He sniffed around. He looked around. There was no better offer out there. He said, you know what? I'll come back. I'll take a salary reduction. He had a great season, and he parlayed that into a nice contract with the Cardinals. Dallas Goedert did the same thing. Anybody in the NFL could have Dallas Goedert for next to nothing.
Correct.
But he came back because the best option for him was to come back, and it was a smart move because he had a great year. He stayed healthy, and now he's going to have suitors out there ready to sign him. Is it the wiser move to let him walk?
That's the question, and it might be.
He's might be
31. He just turned 31 on January 3rd.
Josh Sweat just had a hell of a year for Arizona. It's not like that he had that one great year with the Eagles. And Josh Sweat, they could have used Josh Sweat this year. They did not have great production out of their ends. Just saying.
Yep.
I think you can bring back Dallas Goedert. He's not going to command a defensive end contract like that, like Josh Sweat.
Sure.
So,
but maybe he got rubbed the wrong way with everything that took place
Could've.
last offseason.
Could have. Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Morning, guys. I think it's fairly clear that the Eagles organization squandered a great opportunity last season. But as far as the OC goes, it seems to me there's like two main things that might be considerations, that might be negative considerations. One obviously has been talked about with the limitations whatever they happen to be with Hurts. You know, he's not a prototypical quarterback. So it probably takes some of your offensive opportunities away. And the other thing is, my perception is, I don't know if Sirianni is considered, even though he's been successful, if he's the kind of guy that people really want to work with. I think he's perceived by the rest of the league as a bit of a goofball. He's been successful, but if you're trying to choose who to work with.
Yeah, your phone's breaking up there, Greg. I don't disagree with that. So here's when I'll start to worry about all of this. If you get these other guys coming out, like if a Jim Bob Cooter turns down the Eagles.
Oh, my goodness.
Or if Mannion turns down the Eagles for another team.
It goes back to Green Bay as the, what's his role over there? The quarterback's coach?
Right. Because by the way, I just want to make this really clear, because not a lot of people, even Schefter said this in the NFL Live comments, where he said, well, and a lot of guys went back to their jobs. They weren't offered the job. So outside of the three that we talked about, McDaniel, Brady got a head coaching job, and then Daboll. So really two. Those two guys said, I don't want the job.
Correct.
Nobody else has told the Eagles they don't want the job. People taking their name out of consideration for the job means that they're not getting the job. That's why they're taking their name out of consideration.
Talking about Slowick, Robinson.
So, Robinson took the job.
Yep.
Slowick took the job.
The dude from Chicago, the young gun.
Went back.
Yep.
If they would have said you're still under consideration, he could still very easily be out there waiting to get the job.
These conversations are happening with their agents. They're up front with their agents. The agents relay the message to the coach or player.
And then you go back and you say you're going back. Charlie Weiss Jr., back to LSU. They didn't offer Charlie Weiss Jr. the job. As much as Diana Rossini tried to make it look like that on Twitter, they didn't offer him the job.
She's been getting a few things right, though, John.
Like what?
Around the league.
Oh, all right, good. Yeah. And she also cryptically, intentionally puts out tweets that are like that. Seriously,
she plays the game.
She's a hack.
She plays the game.
Is what she is. She's a hack. All right. Do we have some wrong Shefty answers? There,
yes,
Ray?
we do. We have wrong Shefty
All right.
answers.
What did Schefter mean when he said "we'll see" with John and Andrew yesterday? Wrong answers only. Nate Tennyson, our associate producer, says maybe Quinn Hughes as the new OC.
Hey, that would be quite the switch. I think we'd learn who Quinn Hughes is at that point.
You know who he is, Sean?
No. Who the hell is Quinn? Oh, no. I do know. It was the dude from Vancouver, the player from Vancouver.
The hockey player I never heard of.
That was
I got.
I
know. I'm a loser.
It took a second, but it hit me.
I'm a loser because I didn't know who Quinn Hughes was.
I watched anytime I watch the Flyers, next thing you know, they're losing.
Yes,
so I'm done.
Right. What else do we have, Ray?
All right, Rich Kotite is coming out of retirement to run the offense.
I like that one.
Herb is going to be named the offensive coordinator.
Did you hear about Herb yesterday?
Herb, yes. I caught like the call, but did he call from a stall?
He was in the. Actually, Nate sent the picture last night.
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx toilet. He was on the toilet at TJ Maxx when he called, or when we went to him.
Were they selling VJ Maxx hats?
They were
Is that
not.
where I can get one of those things?
No, he was getting a bag.
Oh, okay. What type?
Not that kind of bag. He was getting a bag for travel bag.
Oh,
he's going to the Super Bowl.
That's a great place to go when you need a suitcase.
It is.
I agree.
It's a good spot. We got
Mike from Turnersville. Merrill Reese retiring and Ray Dunn replacing him as the new voice of the Eagles in 2026. Come clean.
How about that?
We got.
I'm just glad
Jalen-
Merrill Reese doesn't do political talk like some other PA announcers out there on the league.
Paul Allen from the Vikings. Holy cow, man!
Grief.
He stepped in it.
Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown being announced as the headline event at Knucklemania this weekend at Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Ooh. I saw Risque's got the after party.
Bet they do.
Big weekend for Knucklemania.
How did I miss out on this? That this Knucklemania is like the biggest thing ever.
It's taking over.
Can we do that here?
What? No.
Knucklemania?
Ray against Ricky. Knucklemania.
Oh, I'm in.
You're in?
There's no shot
you need
that
more.
would happen.
You need more ammo, my friend.
I could say I'm in.
Yeah. You
As
need more
soon as
guns.
they'd hear that in the background, they'd be like, yeah, we don't want Ray to die.
Ricky is, I need to go back and delete some of my tweets to Ricky, I guess, back in the day. No, I kid.
You might want to.
Oh, yeah, I might need to go delete it.
Well, you might not want because now he's going to be searching it.
I didn't.
Definitely do it.
He'll just block you. I think I'm still blocked. I'm his coworker.
That is funny. He did block everybody. Yeah.
There was but there was a serial blocker that worked here that used to block all the other employees, right? Heard that. Do you not know who I'm talking about, or are you just...
No,
Well, there's a couple of people that have worked here that have been big on the block button, so I'm not exactly.
Well, the block button of other employees.
Oh no, I didn't.
Not
know
of
that.
the not of the audience.
You can't block your employees.
Oh, but I was told this.
Wait, I think you can mute employees.
You definitely can mute fellow employees.
You can mute anyone.
I mute employees.
You cannot delete.
Not employees of here.
You can't block coworkers.
Well, that's the whole thing. My whole thing with the block button. I don't use the block button. I use the mute button.
I use the mute
I
button.
have thousands of mutes.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, I don't have many, but yeah, I would use the mute button before that. All right, coming up, Dave Gonzaros of Comcast, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Why can't we just call it Comcast?
Is he on
Sports
Daily
Center?
News Live at 5 p.m.?
Michael Barkan and Ed Barkowitz are with him today. Dave Zungaro, who's awesome, and his podcast with Ruben.
Steve Bucci coming in later,
is
too.
Great, and his show's great. He's going to give us the latest on the offensive coordinator search. And if he thinks that this is an indictment on Jalen, on the coach, on the organization, or this is just kind of the situation. That's coming up next. Dave Gonzaro, Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
We'll see. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at La Catricita food truck. One of these days, but to get it right. From now until June 30th, get a buy one, get one deal on select items on the app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. The app for details. Adam Schefter on with Kincade to Salciunas yesterday left us wondering what exactly is coming next for the Birds.
And maybe it'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe it'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, in regards to the offensive coordinator search, we're still talking about second interviews right now. Jim Bob Cooter getting a second interview, Sean Mannion getting a second interview as we await to see what happens with the Birds. Dave Zangaro of NBC Sports Philadelphia joins us next to break down everything going on with that offensive coordinator search. The Flyers lost 5-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets last night. Dan Vladar returned. Travis Konechny had a hat trick, but again, they fall in that one to Columbus. They've got the Bruins tonight at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game on our sister station, WMMR. The Sixers host the Kings tonight. That game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic starting at 7 o'clock. This update brought to you by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. They're anything but your usual nugs at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. I'm Ray Tone, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
half hour from now, Wayne Larrivee, the longtime radio voice of the Green Bay Packers, will tell us everything we need to know about Sean Mannion, the young, inexperienced quarterbacks coach of the Green Bay Packers, who is now interviewed for the Eagles offensive coordinator job twice, joining Jim Bob Cooter. Has Nagy twice, or is that still one time?
Nagy was not twice. I did not see Matt Nagy 2 times.
I don't think you need to interview him twice. He just kind of, what he is.
Yeah. The other
Old,
two,
reliable.
Sure, yeah.
If Matt Nagy was a car, what would he be?
A
Taurus?
That's a good one.
From like when I was growing up.
Yeah, I was going to go down the path of like a Toyota, something Toyota that's reliable.
I have a Toyota. You have a RAV4.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy's a RAV4.
Is he reliable though?
That's what you drive.
Yes. I think Matt Nagy is reliable. I just think we all have our pitchforks out, and nobody's going to be good enough for some.
You're right.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
That's where we are right now. Until they are or they're not. Right?
We'll find out
to
soon.
Discuss. Believe me, it could get a lot worse than better. To discuss, first time on the show, and I'm a big fan of Dave Zangaro. Eagle Eye podcast with Ruben Frank, Birds Huddle on NBC Sports Philadelphia. He writes for the website and everything, and he joins us right now with John Marks and Sean Brace. Dave, how are you, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing very well. All right, so where are you right now as far as this offensive coordinator search? Because I know a lot of the fans are mad. You get some in the media that are saying, "Oh, no one wants to play for no one wants to coach Jalen Hurts. No one wants to coach under Nick Sirianni." I look at the candidates, the two that have told the Eagles, "I'm going to go to the Chargers, and I'm going to go to Tennessee." That was a decision they made. It wasn't necessarily about the Eagles. Do you agree with that? And do you think this has been a disaster so far, the offensive coordinator search?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and you can't call it a disaster because we don't know who they're going to hire yet. I think that you at least have to wait and see how this all turns out. And yeah, I mean, I think you look at those two cases individually and you go, like, I understand why both of those guys wanted to be somewhere else. And the one that, the one guy on top of the list when they started for me was Mike McDaniel. Like, if you can get that guy, I think that kind of checks off a lot of the boxes that we're talking about. I understand why he would want to go to LA and take that job. So once he was out of the picture, I think it did make sense to take a step back, cast a wide net, interview a lot of candidates, because at that point, I didn't feel like it was as pressing to try to hire someone quickly. I think the going quickly would be, if you can get that guy, go quickly, get it done. But if not, then I understand what they've done here over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you've reported, and as others, no one's turned the Eagles down outside of those two. And I know officially Daboll wasn't offered the job, but outside of those two, like you had said, they've interviewed a lot of people. But when you hear the names, when you hear that Charlie Weiss Jr. is taking his name out of consideration, he wasn't offered the job, and he's going back to LSU. The Eagles are still trying to figure out who they want as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's like these conversations between a candidate and a team, they go on far enough that one of two things happens. Either the guy kind of says, "All right, I'm not in this anymore, and I'm going to take my name out," or the team says, "Hey, we're not really going to go down this route, so we're not going to offer you the job." It's very rare that like you get these like a bunch of offers and then guys are turning. That it doesn't really work that way. Like there's a back and forth between these teams and these candidates, and for those two young guys, I think it made sense to try to talk to them, even if you're not going to hire them. We're talking about Declan Doyle and Charlie Weiss Jr. The Eagles have historically done this with interview processes, right? They'll bring in a large group of people that they find interesting, that they want to talk to about offense or about defense, and it's kind of like a fact-finding mission for them in a lot of ways. So I think that's good process, and it can lead to some anxiety, though, because you're hearing all these names, and some names you really like and some names you don't like, and you're watching all these other jobs get filled around the league. I understand the anxiety part of it if you're an Eagles fan and you're going, man, who are they going to end up with? I get that.
Yeah. Do you think Jalen Hurts is a net positive when it comes to when you're interviewing guys and you're trying to bring in guys? Do you think that coaches look at Jalen Hurts as I'm really excited to be his offensive coordinator, or maybe he's one of the reasons why you're looking elsewhere?
Yeah, it's a fair question. And it's kind of funny because I feel like we did this during the season, trying to assign blame for why the offense is struggling, and now we're trying to assign blame for why they can't hire an offensive coordinator. And I think with both things, it's like it's never all of one thing or the other, right? And for me, though, I look at Jalen Hurts, and if I'm an offensive coordinator, I think there's a lot you can do with Jalen Hurts. It's like you can't say you can't win with him because they won with him. Yeah. That is off the table. You can't possibly say that. I think that if you're any coach looking at any player who has talent, and no one would say Jalen Hurts doesn't have talent, I think the coach in you wants to get the most out of that talent. And honestly, I think that's why like a Mike McDaniel going to work with Justin Herbert makes so much sense, because it's a really talented player who has not lived up to that potential, and coaches just have that in them that they're like, I'm going to be the guy to get the most out of this talent. So that's what you want. That's what you want from a coordinator if they're looking at Jalen Hurts, not to focus on the deficiencies, but to focus on what he does do well, and then try to build the offense around that, because there are a lot of things he does really well that I think they can lean into, and whoever gets this job should lean into, because he is a talented player. And maybe, I don't want to get into the rankings and is he elite and all that stuff, because it doesn't really matter. He does some things really well, and it's incumbent on whoever gets that job to make sure they lean into those things.
All right, then I'll save the McNabb versus Hurts question for later then. But going back this year, though, Dave, you had a viral clip at MetLife Stadium when the Eagles lost that game to the Giants, when the Eagles fan was in handcuffs in the back alley of the stadium, and he walks by you while you're on camera and says he's a fan of your work. I saw ESPN's doing a 30 for 30. Is NBC Sports tempted to roll out, like where they reunite both you guys? Did you ever find out what he got arrested for?
Yeah, we actually had a nice back and forth. He was no charges filed against him.
He was in handcuffs.
He was like the peacemaker in a little scuffle at MetLife Stadium. Good guy from my encounter with him. But it's funny, guys. That clip has like followed me around. I'm very happy that he said he loves my work, because whatever he said, people will say to me now. So I get a lot of "I love your work, Dave," and I appreciate that.
All right, just real quick on this, though. Who has the leg up in your opinion? Is it Cooter, or do you think the quarterback coach from Green Bay, Sean Mannion, actually, probably has their ear as well? If you had to guess, is there one that you would put in front of the other?
Man, it is really fascinating, because on one hand, you have Jim Bob Cooter, who has more experience, and it's just like, what do they value in this process? Do they have to value the experience, and specifically the play calling experience? Or, and I think by some of the candidates they brought in, they're showing you that is not a requirement, right? They're showing you that, hey, like if we find someone who has good ideas, we're going to be willing to bring this guy in, listen to him. And I think there's some real risk involved in that, because you just never know how someone's going to handle play calling duties once they get here. And I think it's a fear when you have a young coach like that 2 years in. Like, are they really going to listen to him? Is Nick going to be willing to turn over the keys to this guy who's been coaching for 2 years? Is Jalen Hurts going to listen to this guy? That risk to me is really great. I think the reward is there, but I don't know if they're in the spot right now to take that much risk with how good this team is. So maybe right now I lean the other way from Sean Mannion, but it's certainly a fascinating guy, and someone that like in league circles, they think is going to be a pretty fast riser here.
Dave Zangaro, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Is there any timetable on this, Dave? I mean, I know the Giants' job is now available because Munkin got the job yesterday. I am a little bit worried that maybe someone takes that job that maybe the Eagles wanted, because I think it is a relatively attractive job. But when do you think that fans, because we just need somebody to be named out right now, Dave. We're going crazy over this.
I feel that too, guys. I need it. Hire someone. I don't care who it is anymore. Just hire someone. I've gotten the sense the whole time that they're not going to rush. So that doesn't mean it won't happen soon, but I don't get the sense that they're feeling the pressure to, hey, we got to name someone right now because everyone's getting antsy. I haven't sensed that from them.
All right. Are you a mock draft guy? Are you a mocker?
I'll get there. I'm not. Yeah, I like the mock drafts. I think they're fun. I don't get the hate for mock drafts. I think it's good, clean fun, and we'll have a lot of time for that.
We need a mocker, Ray. We need a mocker for the show. We need somebody that does the mock drafts. Maybe Dave can be a part of that coverage. That'd be great.
I'm ready to get mocked up.
Oh, yeah, we are.
All right, guys. Yeah, let me know.
All right. Dave, thanks, buddy.
Awesome,
Appreciate
Dave.
it.
All right, fellas. Take care.
There he is, Dave Dungaro.
Davey Drafts.
Ooh, Davey Draft.
You know, two things. One, Sean Mannion was the quarterback's coach the offensive coordinator at the Shrine Bowl on Monday.
Saw that.
So I was checking that out. Not much. I was watching an interview behind the scenes, trying to gauge on like why this guy is catching the ear. Obviously, the experience and where he's been around the league. Quarterback, I think, speaks a lot, right, to Lurie and Howie Roseman. But at the same time, like you almost like he's got to wow him, right? Like if you're that,
he doesn't get a second interview unless he really impressed him. So Mannion, and we'll talk to Wayne Larrivee, who is the longtime radio voice of the Packers. So he's been with his only coaching jobs have been with Green Bay. He was an offensive assistant in 2024. This past season, he was a quarterback's coach. So he went from offensive assistant, he got promoted to quarterback's coach. So 2 years with Green Bay. But he's played for Sean McVay, among others. Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Dave Canales, Clint Kubiak, and Zach Taylor. So he's played for Super Bowl coaches.
Yeah, pretty strong there.
So, I mean, does that necessarily mean anything? No. But if you're picking up stuff from those things, and I'll guarantee you this, as much as Jalen Hurts and the offense they run and everything else, Jeffrey Lurie has always been a guy that wants to throw the ball, that sees the modern NFL, that knows that you throw the ball, wants the innovative offense.
Yep.
And Sean McVay is that guy. So if you're going to get a guy that's on the Sean McVay tree who played under him, and as a backup quarterback, you're almost like a coach as much as you're a player because you're not necessarily on the field playing. So he has those kind of ties to McVay and all these other guys. He's on the tree.
Yeah.
So you could get a McVay tree guy.
Sign me up. McVay is the real deal. I was watching a clip from the end of the game against the Seahawks in that fourth down play.
He didn't do a good job.
Well, he assessed it from the sideline, and he knew. Yeah, there were some moments where he was probably off and could have done things differently. But we know how good McVay is.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I would say is this: do you know that there was 18 offensive coordinator spots available this year? There currently, I believe, is 14 right now.
14 open jobs?
14, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that.
How about that?
OC that could be available right now in the league.
There's 18 open jobs?
There was this year. 18, I want to say, if a number I saw earlier, because I thought that in 23 there was 32 different coordinators heading into that season. I believe it's right on par to hit that number this year.
All right, so the Bills need an OC, but they have a head coach. That's their OC, but they'll need an OC. Miami just hired an OC. The Jets just hired an OC, so you had 3 of the 4 were available.
Yep.
Steelers will need an OC, right?
Arthur Smith out, yep.
Baltimore, did they hire somebody? No.
They have not, but that's 5, yep.
Cincinnati, no.
No.
Browns,
yep.
They will need an OC. They just hired an offensive coach.
Yeah.
But Jags,
6.
Jags may need an offensive coordinator. I know
No, he went back, so he's staying.
Okay, so he went back.
Yep.
Houston,
no. Good.
Didn't they fire?
Did they fire him? No. The Broncos fired their guy.
Broncos fired their guy.
Yep.
There's a lot of jobs.
A lot of OCs.
Tennessee just hired Daboll. Denver fired theirs. Chargers just hired McDaniel. Chiefs just hired Bieniemy. Raiders need an OC. Yeah.
I guess I should have been an
Giants need an
offensive
OC.
coordinator in life.
Well, they're making money now. That's how Chip Kelly gets a job. He was the highest paid offensive coordinator. Got whacked during his first season.
Now he's at Northwestern.
It's unbelievable. This guy just keeps making millions for failing. Well, he did. I mean, he wanted Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he won a national championship.
What a rat he is. Offensive coordinator. All right, well, there you go. So we'll talk to Wayne. A lot of offensive coordinator talk. I would not have thought that we would spend this much time on offensive coordinator.
Well, it's a fascinating conversation. As Dave just put, and I wrote this down, they're on a fact-finding mission. They are. And I think this probably excites the football guy and Howie Roseman, like trying to discover who that new guy is. And Jeffrey Lurie in the same part at the table because for some odd reason he saw something in Nick Sirianni. I would die to have
fertilized.
To have the video of that conversation at the dinner table And what the heck Jeffrey saw in him that was like, yep, that's the guy. Because immediately he gets on a microphone and he's humming and bumbling all over the place. Who cares about that? But he must have been smooth as silk when he sat down with Jeffrey and Howie.
Whatever he said, he got the job for sure. But yeah, we'll see. It is interesting. Dave said, and this is something we've talked about. After you didn't get your top two choices, then you're like, okay, we're going to interview everybody. And if somebody jumps out and we feel like we need to make an offer or we're really interested in somebody and there's other feelers, then we'll go. But that hasn't happened yet.
No.
Yeah, nobody. And once guys start getting hired, that's when the dominoes will fall, and that's when guys will start getting hired. If there's a lot of jobs that are still out there.
Correct. Yeah.
So Jim Bob Cooter and Nagy, they're going to get jobs somewhere. It's a matter where.
He also brought up the word anxiety, that Eagles fans are having anxiety. I'm sure his mentions are going through the roof, a lot like ours. Oh, by the way, tonight, Mental Health Awareness Night at the 76ers against the Sacramento Kings.
It's a good night to have.
I have anxiety. I take a...
You do?
Yeah, one of those. But I've been taking them for years. I don't know if I necessarily need it now. But
do they advertise during football games?
No, I don't even know what the name of it is.
No.
I took it a long time ago. But the thing is, like, when you start, like, if I don't take my my pill in the morning for like 3 straight days, you start feeling a little off. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got to get my prescription
So that's what
filled.
it takes?
Yeah.
A couple days?
I got to get my prescription filled.
Well, at least you feel it.
But I almost feel like, you know what? Maybe I don't need it anymore. But, you know, it's like...
It's not Skyrizi, right? That's for plaque psoriasis.
No,
That's
it's not
for
Skyrizi. My wife also thinks that maybe that could be contributing to my weight gain.
Could be. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Why?
That's a good excuse.
How?
Well, because I mean, some of these medications make you eat more. I don't know, like with ADD medication for kids, it makes them eat less.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I need to get on that then.
In a lot of them, you could use some ADD medication on top of it.
Is that the Adderall?
Yes, that's Adderall for sure. I see we have a report here. Is this? I guess we consider this kind of breaking news, right?
I mean, yeah. When we look at the insider rankings, I would put Herb over Bill for sure.
According to Herb from Northeast Philly, his sources tell him the Eagles will have their OC next week, and there are a lot of changes coming.
I thought it was serious. I thought it was real. I was looking up. I'm like, ooh, we got breaking news.
So what are the lots of changes coming? I mean, isn't that the only change really? I mean, Stoutland was stripped of his job or something. They took the run responsibilities from him or something. I mean,
mid-season, no longer run game coordinator.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What does that really mean? I don't know. The offense was not working, especially the run game.
Yep. Everything will be fine next year, though, right?
Oh man.
All it takes is an OC.
Right. Everything will be fine next year, right?
The OC can help.
Plug and play, man. Happened once, it'll happen again.
So if I confidently ask the question, everything will be fine next year, right? Everybody says yes like that?
Well, define fine.
Everything will be fine next year.
What's fine?
The Eagles will be back to being I'm not saying they have to win a Super Bowl, but the Eagles offense will be back. The Eagles will be back. Even though their passing offense has been good in 2 years. Last 2 years wasn't good.
There's way too many questions that need to be answered for me to say yes. And that's not a cop-out. It comes down to the players. Who's back? AJ out? AJ's
out.
Fantastic receiver. He's out. So who are you replacing that with? Devontae, like, I love Devontae, but
you can get a guy.
You can get a guy to replace AJ?
I mean, you're going to have to. Yeah, you're going to have to. If he's not coming back, you just can't put Dotson out there. He stinks. You're going to have to, even if you're going to have to sign a veteran, you're going to have to draft a guy. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. I think that's an interesting question. Maybe we'll get into that in the second half of the show.
Currently, right now, the Eagles are, next year, Super Bowl odds, Seahawks 1, Rams 2, Bills 3, Patriots 4. Then the Eagles at plus 1,300, right in front of the Rays, Green Bay Packers.
Everything will be fine, right?
According to Vegas odds makers, it seems.
Okay.
Well, who's going to sneak up on them in the division? That's where you start. Is it the Cowboys? Are the Cowboys going to put it together next year? Maybe. Are the Giants going to be a little bit better? Possibly. Daniels and DC could be good. The division could be improved next year.
Could be. No doubt. Giants maybe win more games next year. Just first coach, last place schedule. All right, coming up, Wayne Larrivee, radio voice of the Packers. We need to find out more about the Sean Mannion guy.
Oh, yeah.
What does he think? A lot of times, when you meet somebody for the first time and you're like, wow, like that dude's really impressive.
He's smart. He's good with money.
A lot of people have said that when talking about him, oh, that's a future head coach right there.
It's true.
That's what LaFleur said about him. That's what some Packers players have said about him.
Yeah, but shouldn't you say that about somebody that's on your staff to beef it up a little bit, right?
Did anybody ever say that about Nick Sirianni?
And how come no one's calling the offensive coaches this year?
That's coming up next. Middays with Marks.
Coach in the world.
97.5 The Fanatic. But listen, I have a message right here that I'm telling you, this could change your life. It absolutely changed my life. I was a snorer. Sean Bracelet looks like a snorer. You a snorer?
Not really.
No?
If I drink, yes.
Okay. So he's a little bit of a snorer. He probably has mild to moderate sleep apnea. So I had moderate sleep apnea. And I was a relatively heavy snorer. And as you get a little bit older and as you put on some weight, the snoring becomes a little bit worse, right? What I didn't realize is that I had sleep apnea, which is really bad for your health. And I thought, whatever, people have to deal with it. And my wife just finally was like, you got to do something about it. So I went to a doctor. I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, and I used the CPAP machine, which was horrible. You got a mask over your face. It's completely uncomfortable. I would rip this thing off my face almost every night before I would wake up. So while it worked, I couldn't keep it on my face. And then I spoke to my dentist, Dr. Eric Pastor, and his team. They offered me an advanced, comfortable sleep apnea device designed to keep your airway open so you can sleep better and feel better. And I can tell you firsthand, not only did it work for me, it really changed my life. From the first night I used it, I haven't snored. My sleep apnea, gone. All with this dental appliance. And it works great. And listen to this. It's covered by most insurance plans, including Medicare. This isn't dental insurance. This is a medical condition. Sleep apnea is terrible for your health. And the good news is Dr. Pastor and his team, you call him at 610-67-SLEEP. He'll connect you to the right doctors and arrange a home sleep test. This is something that just goes over your fingertip. So even if you've never been diagnosed, he can help you. And then, boom, sleep apnea is gone, snoring's gone, your partner's happy, and you feel great when you wake up in the morning. So if you're done with CPAP machines, check it out. drpastor.com, drpaster.com. Or again, you can speak to a sleep team right now. Get rid of that snoring. 610-67-SLEEP. That's 610-67-SLEEP.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What's next? I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Adam Schefter was on with Kincade and Salciunas yesterday, and what he said is called on pretty much fire across your timelines, across the media landscape. The Eagles, they're looking for a new offensive coordinator, but we'll see what else happens over the next week.
And maybe there'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe there'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see. We'll see.
Nothing more than that right now, so we will see what the Eagles have going on. Coming up, we will see what Wayne Larrivee. I'm having a banner day with the updates today. The Packers voice thinks of Sean Mannion, their quarterback's coach, who is a candidate for the Eagles offensive coordinator job. Elsewhere, the Flyers lost 5-3 last night to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dan Vladar returned. Travis Konechny had a hat trick for the Flyers, but they did lose that game 5-3 to Columbus. Bruins at 7 o'clock tonight for the Flyers. That game on our sister station, WMMR. On the Fanatic tonight, it's the Sixers host of the Kings. That game at 7 o'clock. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers Flyers. Best Birds Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Middays with Marks, John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn, as the Eagles offensive coordinator search will never end, Sean. Make it end.
It might. I think they like someone, and as Dave pointed out a little earlier, Dave Zangaro, I think they might be in tune to something that's like, new and a fresh approach to it rather than somebody that's been around the block.
The hot young coach is Sean Mannion, who's been with the Packers his second season this past year as the quarterback's coach. To discuss is the longtime radio voice of the Green Bay Packers. Before that, he was in Chicago for many years. His name is Wayne Larrivee. Wayne, thanks for a couple minutes. How are you?
Good to be with you guys. How you doing?
So I don't know if you know Eagles fans. We have a reputation for being a little bit crazy here. Wayne, we're being a little bit crazy with the offensive coordinator search.
Is this going to be? Is this search and is this hire going to be the difference between another Super Bowl or a lost season?
It could be.
Is that what you guys are telling me?
Yeah, it could be. So if you look at the history, right? Like either they've been to a Super Bowl or the coordinator's been fired. So we're coming off the coordinator being fired. So obviously they're winning a Super Bowl next year, Wayne. All right, so
exactly.
so Sean Mannion, I heard Matt LaFleur say, and I've heard some other Packers players say that when they talk to him and they met him and they know him, they say, "Wow, this guy's a future NFL head coach." Do you feel the same way about him? Getting to know him a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time with him over the years, and, absolutely. He's got all the earmarking, everything you're looking for in a head coach. But what he is right now, and why this is important for any team that might consider hiring him, and I'm personally, I'll be selfish and say I hope he doesn't go anywhere, but his ability with quarterbacks, I think Matt LaFleur, when he saw him retire few years ago, I think Matt LaFleur saw a lot of himself in the way his philosophy with quarterbacks and the way he handles quarterbacks in Sean Mannion. And he made a quick hire. Mannion turned out to be very good, came in and worked under a great quarterbacks coach in Tom Clemens. Tom is the guy who essentially, under Mike McCarthy, built Aaron Rodgers over a 3-year period while Brett Favre was finishing his time in Green Bay. So he worked a year under Clemens, and then last year took over the quarterback position full-time, the quarterback coaching position, and did a tremendous job, really, with Malik Willis. Brought Malik Willis from one level to the next, and, really was just did outstanding work with him. And Jordan Love had his best year. I think a little bit more than coincidence there.
So calling plays is one thing, which he hasn't done as a coordinator. He's only been a quarterback's coach. Calling plays in Philadelphia is an entirely other thing. What you know about him, his personality, some of his traits, what would make him a good coordinator for a place like Philadelphia?
Well, I think he has a good feel for his people, his players. And I think if you're going to be a good play caller, you better have a good idea, a good feel, not just quarterbacks, but everybody in that offense, what they can do, what you can do, because you have to construct your game plans week to week around the strength of your players as matches up with the strength of the opponents on defense. So Sean has good command of that. And I think as a backup quarterback for many years in the NFL, that really prepares a guy. Why? Because usually you bounce around and usually you're involved with a lot of different offensive philosophies that you had to learn over the years. This gives you depth. And I think that depth is what a good play call relies on.
Yeah, Wayne, you brought up Malik Willis, and he's a guy that's being discussed, potentially could be a starting quarterback around the league. And then, of course, it comes back to Sean Mannion and what his role was with the Packers. So I'm curious, when you see and hear that Sean Mannion gets 2 interviews with the Philadelphia Eagles, there's only another candidate, and Jim Bob Cooter, that has apparently gotten 2 interviews as well. What is something that you think the Eagles liked when they sat down with Sean Mannion, if there was something that they can grab onto when they had their limited opportunity to speak to him, and now they're bringing him back for a second time?
I think his presence, probably. He's a guy who's, he's not outwardly vociferous and things like that. He probably didn't go in there and all giddy and everything else and, energy and all this other stuff. He's just a very solid, good football man who's come up through the ranks as a player and now as a coach. Is he ready to call plays right now? I don't know because he hasn't done it on this level. But his experience as a player in many different systems would lead me to believe he'd be very good.
Jordan Love has really become one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL, and a lot of people are pointing to Mannion as being one of the people that maybe helped develop him with that. And it's weird, Wayne, because we have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who has been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. But yet, when the Eagles are looking for an offensive coordinator, they're almost looking for somebody to come in and challenge Jalen Hurts and try to evolve the offense. What have you seen that Mannion has done for Jordan Love that potentially he could do for somebody like Jalen Hurts?
I think just a continuation of what Jordan was doing under Tom Clemens. The mechanics. For example, all right, last year, not this past season, the year before, I thought Jordan Love was maybe a top 13, top 15 quarterback. Today, I would call him at least a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league. And what has led to that? Well, I think, number one, a lot of it's Jordan, okay? Because a coach can only work with what he has to work with, okay? If the clay is not right, he can't make something out of it that's not there. But with Jordan Love, here's a guy who came in. His mechanics may not have been the best. His accuracy certainly was not the best. It took a couple of years for this to come around. But I think Sean Mannion continued to harp on the fundamentals, and we hear it time and again with quarterbacks, the footwork, the vision downfield, feeling the pass rush, that type of thing. A lot of that is instinctive, and Jordan has great instincts at the quarterback position. And believe me, the Packers did not have a good offensive line this year, but Jordan Love was not set 60 sometimes this year. Their pass protection numbers are actually pretty good, and I can tell you right now, I saw every snap. And it's not because the offensive line was good. It's because Jordan Love has a great feel for pass rush pressure. Mannion probably, from what I can tell, helped all the quarterbacks work on their mechanics and polish their mechanics. Jordan Love this year was a lot more polished quarterback than we saw the previous 2 years.
Fantastic insight, Wayne. We're just peppering you with these questions about Sean Mannion, but you're the right guy to ask these questions. So a little bit similar to what my co-host just asked with Jalen Hurts. I'm curious about pushing back on LaFleur. Did Sean Mannion challenge LaFleur? Was that something that was accepted? Is that something that you heard would happen behind the scenes with other coaches as well? Because I would like someone to come in here and almost challenge Nick Sirianni to a point. Is that something that you think would be comfortable for Sean Mannion if he was to get the job?
Hard for me to say Sean Mannion challenged Matt LaFleur because I wasn't in on the meetings. So it's only speculation on my part. But I'm pretty sure that when LaFleur hired Mannion, he didn't hire a yes man. He hired a guy who has seen a lot of football, played in a lot of different systems, a young coach who can relate to players. And, Tom Clemens was in his 60s, late 60s, mid-60s, when he left for the final time. And no one wanted to see him go, but getting a Sean Mannion at his age, his recent vintage in the league, that made a big difference, I think, in the quarterback room. And so I think that that's why they were better at quarterback this year than they had been the previous 2 years.
Great insight, Wayne. Wayne also was the longtime TV voice of the Chicago Bulls, Sean Brace, when Michael Jordan and company were there.
Goodness.
How about that? What was that like, Wayne? Did you know? When did you know that you had something that was going to be among the most special things we've seen in the NBA?
Well, before the Bulls started winning championships, we knew there was something special in Chicago with Michael Jordan. But no, following the Bulls in the heyday, their second run of 3 straight championships with Dennis Rodman and Pippen and all those characters they had, Michael, of course, and Phil Jackson and everything. That was like following the Beatles around in the 60s and 70s, I would imagine. So, that was following them was like a rock star, following a rock star around the country. And it was great. It was great theater. Every night was a big game. Every arena was sold out to see Michael play. And unlike today's stars, Michael played every night. He felt he owed it to the audience. He owed it to the person who paid to come see him play. Might be the only time he gets to see him play. But that's the thing I will respect about Michael Jordan over all of these players today.
Wayne, believe me, we're right there with you. My producer Ray is one of these millennial types that he's load management. They don't play every night, so we appreciate it.
Right.
Wayne, great stuff, man. I appreciate it for you.
You bet. Take care, guys.
Wayne Larrabee.
Excellent.
There you go, Ray.
Voice like butter too. You can hear it.
Yep.
And that resume is deep. You're right. Shame on me for not pulling it up. I was just encapsulated by the Sean Mannion discussion, but wow, he's done a lot.
Yeah, the Bears, and then he left the Bears to do the Packers. Packers job opened up, and he bounced up there.
Oh, by the way, I did see LeBron on his podcast say that, back in the day, you could play 82. You can't do that anymore.
Nope.
How about that comment, LeBron?
You're not a Bron guy?
I am a Bron guy, but sometimes Bron does stuff that's over the top, like crying last night and wiping his eyes. All right.
Crocodile Tealer?
You've been back to Cleveland 100 times already.
This is the last one, though.
Oh, of course.
He's not retiring after
There
this
ain't
year.
no way in hell he's
I
retiring.
agree. No. He'll be back. All right, so you sold? Sean Mannion? Your thoughts, Ray? Thumbs up. We'll get it on the other side. 610-632-0975. We've got some phone calls coming up. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatics, Andrew Ditchak.
and all giddy and everything else and, energy and all this other stuff. He's just a very solid, good football man who's come up through the ranks as a player and now as a coach. Is he ready to call plays right now? I don't know because he hasn't done it on this level. But his experience as a player in many different systems would lead me to believe he'd be very good.
There you go. That was Wayne Larrivee. Sean wanted to know if he kicked open the door and barged into LaFleur's office.
LaFleur!
Yeah, it started choking him.
That's not what we're doing.
This game plan sucks.
I need someone to get the best out of Sirianni. Any way, how? All right?
And that's in my notes.
I don't know if you want to.
I don't want a yes man.
Sirianni's the guy you want to fight with because he'll fight back.
Well, guess what?
That's the problem.
Were we in a debate?
That's a good one.
That's the problem. Why do we have the strangest head coach in the history of head coaches?
We all fertilize.
And you know what? When the debate, there are moments last year when he had his press conference, and I was like, yeah, man, Nick is good. Nick understands how to work this town. He's got his moments where he
does. No, he does.
Yeah.
No, Nick has done a really good job.
Yes, he has.
But when they don't win, people are always going to do this. It's the same thing with the quarterback. But the quarterback won on the field. Black Gritty's online. We're going to talk to him in a second. He's not a Sirianni guy. He's more of a Jalen Hurts guy.
Sure.
I'm
in that camp too as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same on both. Okay. I feel like if you're going to give Jalen credit, which he deserves, you have to give Nick Sirianni credit as well, which he deserves. It's just hard for me to know because we all have our canned responses with Nick Sirianni, right? What are they, Ray? When we have canned Nick Sirianni responses.
Well, the guys play for him. He does a really good job building the culture there. He did win a Super Bowl.
Manages the game.
Who you calling?
Things like that. Yeah, who's that? You got a girlfriend calling you in there?
Yeah, what's going on? Bring it up.
What was that?
Let's bring him. Yeah.
What's that? Ray's looking around.
Yeah, he's lost. He has no idea what's going on. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's the CEO. That's all the canned response.
Right. And there is something to it.
And he wins. His resume.
5 seasons, made the playoffs 5 times. You can't argue with any of that. Jalen Hurts. You can't argue with him being a Super Bowl MVP, being in 2 Super Bowls. You can't argue with they haven't got a good passing offense the last 2 years. I'm sorry. You can say it's because of the offense. You can say it's because Kevin Patullo. You can say this or that. But the passing offense needs to improve.
But definitely this year. There's no doubt. No one can argue that. Definitely this year.
A.J. Brown, after the Panthers game, was asked what the problem with the offense was, and he said the passing offense. He said, what's the problem? He said the passing offense. Yep. Then Brandon Graham goes on his radio show and freaks out and says they don't like each other. And then he has to walk that back. And then it's like A.J.'s like, I never said Jalen. I said the passing offense. Passing offense hasn't been good, right? They ran the ball. So that has to evolve. I'm never going to ask for Jalen Hurts to be a guy that throws the ball 45 or 50 times a game. No. You don't need that to win, right? And Jalen offers you enough from everything else that he does.
I'm just cracking up thinking to myself, Mannion comes in, flips the table. Who do you think you are? This is my show.
Right. Clotheslines, Nick Sirianni. Alex in Bethlehem. Alex, go ahead. How are you? Alex.
You made a great point.
Good.
Questioning whether we want a young guy like Mannion who would love to become a head coach one day. And also, his lack of play calling experience is concerning to me. So while it's not super exciting, I think I'm leaning Matt Nagy at this point, guys.
Oh, old reliable.
Got to lean.
The RAV4. All right. If they end up with Nagy, I can assure you, Alex, people are not going to be happy.
And I want to push back on the RAV4 being reliable. I'm just saying, especially this one.
Yours isn't?
It's like tuna can, bro. I get a gust of wind, and I'm in the other lane. And it's like, whoa!
Well, yeah, it's not the heaviest car.
Yeah. But reliable. Okay.
It starts up.
It's around. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, see, with Nagy, with the RAV4, I've had a RAV4 before, but it was a 2008. It was a bigger car. And then my mom has a RAV4, and I know what you mean. You feel like you're almost driving a compact car, but it's an SUV.
Yeah.
It's not really an SUV, but it's an SUV.
Need a little bit more weight to feel
you do.
Safe,
That's like Nagy. He's like, you don't really want him, but he's there, and it's like, all right, it's not bad. Let's go to Black Gritty from blackgritty.com. Black Gritty, how are you, buddy?
First of all, I'd like to take credit for that RAV4 narrative anytime you bring it up. Because you remember years ago when I was like, you sound like the type of dude that drove a RAV4. And you're like, I did drive a RAV4. I am a RAV4 guy. I do it.
I'm new to the RAV4 community, Black Gritty. I'm new.
What was the last car you had before the RAV4?
Me? A Highlander, and it was perfect, but it was $100 more payments, and I'm like, I don't need it.
And
But
before that, you were a Nissan Maxima guy, or did you have an Altima?
I had an Altima.
You
yeah,
look like an
yeah.
You know what I'm
You're
talking
a
about,
criminal.
Black Gritty.
Only criminals drive Ultimas. That's all I know. Only criminals.
You
drive,
know it.
Criminals and baddies. You know what I mean? Criminals and baddies drive Ultimas. That's the only people I know out here driving.
And you could hear
Ultimas.
Sean come. You could hear Sean coming from a block away with the bass pumping in that Ultima.
That's right.
Boom, chicka, boom, boom. First of all, don't talk to me about Michael Jordan. He played 82 games. Well, what if my glorious king took a year or two off every once in a while when he got tired? Maybe you miss 82 games, 90 games in the middle of your career, and you don't have to worry about playing 67 or 70 games. You played 82 games. Shut up. Michael Jordan was a quitter, quitted 9 times.
Oh,
Michael Jordan
man. Hey, LeBron James is in a different. He's in a separate entity when we start talking about load management. He can do whatever he wants, but everybody else play the damn game.
And I mean, they gave the man a tribute. He boo-hoo for the people. It's for the fans. It's not for you. Okay, you know what I mean? Don't worry about his son out there getting steals and dunks. If you saw your son get a dunk and a steal in the home that you grew up in and then play Super Bowl, won championship to, you ain't going to boo-hoo. Shut your mammy Jimmy mouth. Now, let me tell you about
those
this
fake crocodile tears. You know those were fake. He's wiping them. Oh, is the camera on me? Yeah, perfect time to do it. Here we go.
If only a king would be so modest to share his tears with the people. It would mean so much. Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. Anyway, Johnny Mark, you want to be the OC? Because at this point, if you were me, baby, because Nick Sirianni can't do it. I've seen him call plays, and I don't want to go back to them days. It's embarrassing, and it's sad. But you know what? I'll take one of these young guys if they can answer questions, because Nick couldn't even help. The last play that you had to call, you were looking into the sky. Your quarterback's looking at you like, is this what we're calling? Your Tanner McKee is looking at you like, yo, bro, are you going to say anything? And you look past Tanner McKee, that man is not allowed to call any plays for anybody. Because when he was helping the offense, where was the help? He's incompetent. And he's gotten better, but last thing I'll say about him, I would hope that he would grow up. When he's in the tunnel yelling, A.J. Brown looked at him, he's still a grown man child, and he's irresponsible, and I can't stand the guy. So yes, Robert Jalen Hurts, don't talk about my king, and you always be a RAV4 guy, and don't worry, I think you're a baddie because you drove an Ultima, baby. Talk out, y'all. Have a great day.
The best. There he is. Yeah, I would say from the fact that that final play call, that rubbed me the wrong way on so many levels. That's like the first question I'm going to ask Charmaine. It's like, all right, what would you run in that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where are you at? Where's your mind at? Well, no. I don't care about what took place the whole game. I don't care what took place on that drive. You have one play. What are you drawing up? Did you see John Gruden got an opportunity to go into the Jets?
Yeah.
Take that job, John Gruden.
No.
Why not?
The Jets working under Aaron Glenn?
Get in the league. Get back in the league any way you can.
I would say no.
I mean, been a couple decades since John Gruden had success, Sean. Just saying.
He's also got an investigation that's still open, or a court case that's still open.
Yeah,
so I don't think.
And by the way, like the NFL totally sabotaged him a little bit. Yeah, I think when was the last time John Gruden had success in the NFL?
Yeah, but if you're dying,
2005.
If you're dying to get back into the league, why would you not take that? How could you say no?
I guess he's not dying that much to get back in the league.
I think it's because of the the court case.
Well, no, I mean that's why he may not be getting head coaching offers. But why wouldn't? What does that have to do with him taking a job at the Jets?
I don't know.
If the Jets are offering the job, you could say he's not getting job offers because of the court case. Brian Flores he's sued the NFL.
True.
He's a coach.
That's true.
All right, coming up, news at noon. Tom Brady, Charles Barkley, and Joe Mazzulla. I can't get enough of Joe Mazzulla. Crazy Joe. That's coming up next. Middays the Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What will we see? I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. Adam Schefter was on with Kincade to Salciunas yesterday, and if you've been living under a rock, you haven't seen it. But here's what he had to say when he was leaving the guys yesterday.
And maybe there'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe there'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see.
Maybe we'll be talking about something more than the offensive coordinator search for the Eagles in the next week. That offensive coordinator search continues. Pair of candidates having their second interviews this week, Jim Bob Cooter and Sean Mannion. Flyers lost 5-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets last night. Dan Vladar returned. Travis Konecny had a hat trick, but again, the Flyers lose that one. They got the Bruins tonight at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game on WMMR. And tonight on The Fanatic, you can hear the Sixers host the Kings. That game at 7. Again, listen right here on The Fanatic. This update's also brought to you by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. They're anything but your usual nugs at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. I'm Ray Tone, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, Best Birds Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First HVAC. 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more, ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Tomorrow we will have a pair of 76ers tickets to give away for the big game on Saturday night as they celebrate the 25th anniversary of the team that went to the finals.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? Todd McCulloch joins us in studio right around 11 o'clock or so, 10:45, 11 o'clock.
How about that?
The big guy, former center on the team. So
apparently a big pinball guy these days. Like
professional pinball player.
Yeah, legit.
He's ranked.
How the hell do you become a professional pinball?
I guess they have event like if you're a bowler, how do you become a professional bowler? You go to the PBA bowling events.
I love pinball.
I do too.
I go to Barcade down there in Fishtown when I get, when we got a concert or something like that. I always say, let's go to Barcade. Kids love, that's at the Plymouth Meeting Mall. No, yeah, that's not your way. Why
Well,
would-
no, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, we went to the Lego factory there.
Yes.
And, we go down for.
The Plymouth Meeting Mall is the ultimate stop for kids because, it's just an indoor playground for them to go nuts.
Right.
You got the fountain, we throw pennies
I didn't know
in
they
there.
had pinball in there.
Yeah, they got the one arcade joint in
They
there.
do.
And Dave and Buster's as well.
I know they had Dave and
Bing, bing,
Buster's.
bing, bing, bing.
I didn't know they because when I worked at Steak and Hoagie Factory in Abington.
Okay.
And they had the Addams Family pinball game. And I worked until 2 a.m. I worked 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Still hitting.
6 days a week. And the Addams Family pinball game is my favorite pinball game ever.
Yes.
And they have it down on the boardwalk in Ocean City at Jilly's.
Yes.
There's like 40 retro pinball games at that arcade.
So cool.
I love pinball.
Yeah, Uncle Joe's Arcade in the Plymouth Meeting Mall has the
Addams
Family.
Family? That's my
pinball
favorite.
machine, man. Sounds like a show excursion to me.
There we go. Do a live remote.
Get those tickets.
From Uncle Joe's Pinball. What was the name of it?
Get those tickets. Yes, that's it.
All right, let's get to the news and noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the News at Noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, we're going to start with the biggest news across sports right now. It's way more entertaining than anything going on with the Super Bowl, and football runs our lives. It's Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, man.
Now, the big story that comes out of this for me is how in the world Seattle right now has Brady on the air this early before the Super Bowl. I get it, they have the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, but to get Brady on right now, impressive work by Seattle radio. And of course, they got a chance to ask him about Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Here is Tom Brady about just the injustice that's been done to his former head coach.
I don't understand it. I mean, I was with them every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it. And he's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So that's enough said. There's nothing outside of that. Again, when it comes down to votes and, popularity and all that, then welcome to the world of voting. And you may as well go, try out for the Oscars or whatever and, get a big panel to tell you if you're good or not.
So that's a personal connection. It was on a show with Mike Salk, who used to do radio. He was a program director of WEEI in Boston.
Ooh.
There you go.
And he was also on the air. And I think Tom called in the EI after games on
That
Monday.
explains how that works. I'm very confused how that
And
works.
Brock Heward is the other host of the show, who's a former quarterback.
He's
and whatever
fantastic.
else, right.
Yeah, I like Brock.
So it's just Tom did him a solid by going
At 4 a.m. too.
Yeah, really.
If he's in Florida.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I don't know if they do mornings or I don't think they do mornings. They might do later on. No, mornings. You're right. Mornings.
There you go. I know my Seattle radio.
I forgot that you were a big Rock and Salk fan.
Yeah, big time.
I feel I was having trouble sleeping last night because of poor Bill not getting in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's really, really sad. Really, really sad. I feel really bad for him.
Welcome to the world of politics, and that's what it is with the Hall of Fame. If you want to know how it works, I mean, just look at the names that are in there.
Yeah, there's enough guys that said, screw him, we're not voting for him.
That's it. Oh, by the way, he is still coaching, could potentially return to the NFL. That's got to be up there in the voters' mind.
I just think he pissed enough people off over the years that they know that the vote's not going to get out, so they voted no. And by the way, of course he deserves to be voted in. I just don't care. Screw him.
The Belichick 11, they're being called. I love it.
It's awesome.
Name them.
Oh, my God. People were so mad. Hey, Stephen A. Smith was calling a boycott of the Hall of Fame. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's absurd, some of the takes.
I'm chaining myself to the door of the Hall of Fame. Nobody walks in until Belichick walks in.
I know, but what does that mean? You're not, you're going to boycott it. You're not doing no more events there. You can't go there. You're going to boycott the members of the Hall of Fame?
Well, God forbid you don't go to Canton, Ohio.
I'll tell you what, who are the inductees? Because I feel bad for those guys. Who's ever making it this year?
Yeah, really. The shadow of Bill Belichick.
Man.
All right.
Moving on to another all-time great. I've ripped apart the whole Michael Jordan to NBC thing and how it was just kind of a farce for them, only doing one interview. Well, Charles Barkley, welcome to the Resistance, because Barkley, I think, has officially ended any chance of Michael Jordan ever resurrecting their friendship with him complaining that Michael Jordan was absolutely in the wrong for NBC. Take a listen.
I was excited. We need Michael Jordan affiliated with the NBA. But now you see this thing coming out with NBC and you're like, wait, y'all did one interview like 5 months ago and y'all gonna sprinkle it throughout the season. Come on, man. That's disingenuous by NBC. Listen, that's crazy, man. I'm so disappointed that the way that worked out. Because, I talked to NBC. NBC has actually offered me a contract, but it's a bad look for NBC, and it's just a bad look, plain and simple.
Yep, it's been spoken about on the news at noon by Ray. Ray's kind of the champion of this cause.
And Charles Barkley and I see an eye to eye on this one. Two peas in a pod here. We're boys.
He's right.
He is right.
Remember when it came out, we all questioned exactly what Jordan was going to be with NBC.
Don't blame Jordan, though.
Well, I mean, I'm not...
You blame NBC.
I'll blame NBC.
Yes.
When we were trying to figure out what it was going to be, I remember saying, well, he's not going to be on the panel on some random Sunday when they're doing a game.
He's not doing pregame coverage.
No, but
Let's
I
go
thought,
to Michael.
But I thought maybe with the finals he would be doing some stuff or whatever. He's not doing a damn thing. Charles is 100% right. He did some boring interview with Tirico 5 months ago, and they just cut it up, and they're just putting it over every broadcast that they're doing.
Sounds like load management.
Oh.
He gave us one interview, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to take the rest of the season off. You got one great moment from Jordan. And
sounds like bait and switch by NBC is what it sounds like.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Also, there were a couple drops there from Chuck. Fantastic stuff. And last night, it was great to see the boys on TV.
It's like
Finally.
their fifth time, I think, doing it.
Dude, Charles, the GLP-1s.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
Whoa. He is skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, long term, I don't know how all these things are going to work out, but the doctors say we'd rather give you this than you be, because if you're overweight, there's health risks associated with. Charles is in his 60s.
Yeah.
So, he looks
thin.
No, he looks thin. I don't know if he looks great.
Looks really thin. Yeah, looks skinny.
Yep.
You ever see that movie Stephen King, Thinner? Scary movie. That was a scary movie. That freaked me out.
I could see you being a Stephen King guy.
Oh, yeah. Good movie. Pet Sematary?
Not the books, though.
Go back to the movie.
Anything with books, Sean's out.
Yeah,
You're not a book guy?
Ray,
that didn't strike me about you.
If you ever hear somebody say, the movie was pretty good, but the book was better, that's not Sean.
No.
Last book I read was Indian in the Cupboard back in 5th grade. That was about it. Yep, that's my one.
Yep. Ray's the guy that says the book was better than the
Actually, I did read Questlove's book a couple years ago, so I just want to put that out there. I did read a book.
Good for you.
About
This
10
decade?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Okay, so the 2010s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, not this decade.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I was giving you a 5-year window. Almost 6 now. All right,
Good
last one for you. We'll keep it with the NBA. Joe Mazzulla, from the coach that gave you I want fighting in basketball, here is his latest idea.
This is easy. Power plays. Every clear path, every flagrant, technicals. You have to play 5-on-4, but then you have to play 4-on-5.
What do we think about the power play making its way to the NBA?
I think Joe Mazzulla is insane every time I listen to him talk, and I love it.
I don't mind it either.
Give it to me.
He is a maniac.
The fact that he sent out the coaches to play the press, and they were cheap shotting the coaches, and they beat them. What was the final score, Ray?
Like 81-4, 82-4, something like that.
Originally, I was really mad because it's like why would you do that to him? But the more you hear him talk, you realize why he did it. He's insane.
He really is. Boston ended up losing last night to the Atlanta Hawks, and a pretty good night in the NBA, John. Great game with the Spurs and the Houston Rockets. I'm ready to say that the San Antonio Spurs are going to win it all this year, just so you know. Maybe Spurs Sixers in the NBA Finals. Just putting it out there.
What year?
This year.
This is
2026.
Sixers this year? Oh, okay.
We are contenders in the East. Did you see that game by the 76ers? Come on, man. You got to believe right now.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the ride, brother.
We're back.
I'm enjoying the ride. It was 57-4, the final score of the coaches of the Celtics against the local media members.
I gave too much credit.
Wow.
The coaches.
That'd be like who in the Sixers beat would be like that'd be like me out there as a media member taking on former.
You got Devon. Devon can hoop. And that's about it.
But Devon's also like 5'5".
Yeah, but
I mean, better than me.
No one's scoring.
Devon's a really good player.
Yeah,
but yeah, no one's. Who would be out there on the Sixers?
I played basketball with Newbeck. He's good too.
Ray.
Bob would pull out because he'd say, "Oh, my back's bothering me."
Bob Cooney's a little bit too old.
I'll give you.
Pompey would probably hold his own.
I've seen Adam Aronson take a floater that goes in. Other than that, questionable. Questionable.
It wouldn't be pretty.
They were full court pressing him.
Yeah, they did. I like that. What's that? Who's on Nick Nurse's staff, though? I'm trying to remember who's.
I don't think it matters.
Division I players and former NBA players.
That's true too. Yes.
That even if you didn't play in the NBA, you played overseas or you played Division I. You're not on the staff. This isn't Alec Hallaby of the Eagles.
Now that's a good I'd
name.
Be interested in Howie's staff against the media.
That would
in
be
a
good.
football game.
That would
I'm
be
in on
good.
that. McLean stiff arming some analytics guy into the ground.
Oh no, yeah, McLean would definitely show up if you put Les in there. Les might get a personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
Les is just the goon of the team. They just check him in for the personal foul.
Just don't mess with him. That's all I'm saying. All right, well there you go. That's in the thank you, Ray. That's in news at noon. Just wanted to say this. Dan McQuaid, who was a longtime member of the media, he was a freelance writer who wrote for a lot of different publications over the years, and was a big Philadelphia sports fan. Very witty. Certainly had the sense of humor and wits that I don't have. He passed away, I believe, yesterday at the age of 43. Died of cancer. So I met Dan on a couple of occasions, and he was a true Northeast Philly guy, a true Philadelphia sports fan, and just a shame. He leaves his wife behind and a young child.
Yeah, the cancer is just absurd, and it seems like it's popping up more and more. I mean, maybe it's because we're getting older, but for crying out loud, like, enough. That stung a little bit on the timeline to see it, and that's all I know Dan from is from the timeline. Original. I mean, we're talking about 07, 08, like one of the first follows I've ever had on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, and just a funny dude. He had the Wildwood T-shirt bit. So many gems that are being put on the timeline right now. I just want to give you one, John, if I could, because this is fantastic. I woke up this morning, somebody retweeted this one. This was from McQuaid back in 2023. He said, because, the gas stations were getting those luck machines, He said, the tweet reads as follows. My gas station is up to 12 slot machines. They add any more, and Joe Conklin's going to start doing shows there. He's up at parks. He's all over the place. It's just fantastic. He knew Philly through and through, and he did a lot. He wrote for a lot of outlets and did quality stuff, man. And I'll tell you what, we talked about this, forgive me, the Wings player, and we were just talking about the former Eagle player.
Jake Berge, Bill Berge.
Thank you, Bill Berge. When you pass away and people go, and put stuff on the timeline like that, I mean, articles are being written about this guy. Is anybody going to blog about me when I die? I'm just curious. I'm wondering. Will you guys at least fire up 975thefanatic.com and just give me a little something?
I'll mention it.
Oh, thank you.
I will.
In the news at noon, will I get a little?
No. Before I go back to the phones to talk to Herb, I'll say, all right, we got Herb in Northeast Phillies on a toilet at TJ Maxx, but Sean Brace, you might remember him. He was briefly a co-host of Middays with Marks.
Oh, man. Well,
passed
yes.
away.
It speaks highly when people talk about you when you're no longer here.
Correct.
Shout out Dan McQuaid and terrible.
So he did our friend Jesse Rendell, who has a Philly sports podcast. He has I don't even know if he still has it, but he did a live podcast. He had some type of some space where he did it. At the Coop, right? It was somewhere in the city. And I went there, and Dan had all of these different Philadelphia sports shirts. He had 150 of them. And it's like the shirts you would find when you leave the vet or you leave Lincoln Financial Field and the guy selling them for $5. And he had all of them. And I'm telling you, it's exactly what you think it would be.
That is awesome.
Like look at this one right here that he had. So the Eagle fan, what's the cartoon that's doing it? Where they're peeing on the Cowboy star.
Yeah.
Well, this one is some little kid peeing on Taylor Swift in a Chiefs helmet.
So good.
I'll put it up there for the YouTube can see it.
Yeah, it's normally with the Dallas Cowboys star, right?
Peeing on the star, and I've seen that shirt's been out there outside the vet, and they're the type of shirts that he had, and they were amazing. So, rest in peace, Dan McQuaid.
Yeah, man.
There we go. So right when we were going to talk about Rob Thompson coming up here, and it's amazing audio. So my venture's out, and you're probably the same way. Whenever I go to the grocery store or you go to the Wawa, you're getting coffee or whatever, like especially after an Eagles game on a Sunday or a Monday morning or when something big happens in Philly sports, for that 2-3 week period there with the Phillies, it was like Phillies, Bo Bichette. Are they getting this guy? Are they getting that guy? Are they getting this guy? Everything's kind of calmed down now with everything, but like, and even I've calmed down with things. But the people aren't happy. Phillies fans aren't happy about everything right now.
We have a good club.
And as we go into spring training, I mean, I don't want to be overly negative on the team. And because I still think that, and I said to Jason yesterday, because Jason's like, well, what do you think of the team going in this year? And I had said, for me, it's 100%, let's get to the trade deadline. Because if you can get to the trade deadline and you're positioned to make a run at the playoffs, which I believe they will be, then Dombrowski can make another move. Then you can go out and get an outfielder if you need an outfielder. Then you can go out and get I don't know, maybe you need something else. Because really, you look at the team right now, this is the team. And their outfield is really uninspiring. And you don't have a lot of wiggle room. So if you lose a Brandon Marsh or a Justin Crawford is struggling at the major league level, you don't really have anybody behind them that can come up and can take care of it. So as long as they can kind of survive this first surge and you can get into June and then July and then kind of reset, then they're going to be okay. But you still need to do that first. But I still think the team is good. The bullpen may end up being the strength of the team, and their rotation may end up being the make or break of them. Does Zach Wheeler get back? Is he the Zach Wheeler when he gets back? When does he get back? Do the rest of the guys, what do they, are we relying on Aaron Nola to turn into more of the Aaron Nola that Ray Dunn thinks we're going to see?
Oh, he's going to have a bounce-back year.
I don't know.
Not only Ray,
but
the manager believes that too.
He does. We're going to play. We're going to play what Rob Thompson said. But I'm heading into the season, I don't want to, because pitchers and catchers, listen, I'm not going to sit here and shine a turd or be overly enthusiastic about stuff, but it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, but this team is still, put together nicely. They went out there and brought back Schwarber, who could have very well went somewhere else. He was a top 5 free agent. They have some big names. They have the pitching that's there. If they could just get through the WBC healthy, that's the biggest concern right now with Christopher Sanchez going. Fingers crossed. A couple other players, I believe, in the bullpen will be going for the Phillies as well, if I'm not mistaken on that one. But, it's too long of a season to be negative, and you can't do that. It's not 17 games like the Eagles. I'm with you, though. It's not to the point that, we're going to be overzealous and fake, let's go Phillies. No. But this team just won the division, 90-plus dubs, still have Harper.
96. 96 wins.
That's a good club.
That's right, Dave.
That's a good club.
We have a good club.
But I'll tell you what, John, I don't want to, Aiden Miller, he's the second coming of Mike Schmidt at shortstop, oh, by the way. He needs to be up here, okay? Crawford, let's go. I'm buying into what these people are.
But Miller has nowhere to play.
He's got to find a place.
Well, it's probably going to be third base, although they can keep saying that he's a shortstop. But they came out with their rankings, the new rankings. Kylie McDaniel on ESPN.com, he's 10.
Unbelievable. Phillips, that comment that Steve Phillips had last week was insane.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he can be. It just depends how much power will be there once he comes up, because he stole a bunch of bases last year in the minors, so he's got the speed.
You know what else is going to be cool? There's There's venom between the two teams again, Mets and the Phils.
Oh, Bo Bichette.
Right, and then look, the Braves probably going to be better this year.
Yeah.
Division's going to be a little bit more, and nobody really cares about that, but from a viewership perspective.
Well, sure.
I think that's cool.
We just
it's a long year.
We can't fast forward to October. We have to have the season,
Hell,
right?
I'm ready.
And we have to enjoy the season too.
I need some more at the back of my life right now.
It's baseball season, boy.
Rob Thompson sat down with Scott Lauber, and he was asked whether he felt better about the team. Wait till you hear the answer. So Ray asked me if I heard it. I said no. And then Ray said, don't listen to it. I want you to hear it live on the air. All right? So that's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Good tease.
Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wait and see. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Adam Schefter joined Kincade and Salciunas yesterday, and it's the bite that's gone around your timeline. Schefter saying to the boys that, yeah, we might have offensive coordinator news or something else.
And maybe there'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe there'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see. We'll see.
So we will see. As for the offensive coordinator search itself, right now, 2 candidates getting second interviews, Jim Bob Cooter and Sean Mannion, both getting second interviews this week with the Eagles. We'll keep you updated with anything that happens there. Last night, the Flyers lost 5-3 to Columbus Blue Jackets. Dan Vladar returned. Travis Konechny had a hat trick, but again, they dropped that one to Columbus. They've got the Bruins at 7 o'clock tonight. You can listen to that game on WMMR. And tonight on the Fanatic, the Sixers hosting the Kings. You can listen to that game right here at 7 o'clock. This update brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Your favorite songs shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, Best Birds Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
So, Ray, you think that you have an idea what you're guessing what Schefter was talking about, maybe?
It's just consuming me right now. Every little Eagles news we get, I'm like, maybe that's what Schefter meant.
No. If he teased that, then I'm not bringing up his name again.
I hope not. I hope it's not.
What is it?
It's the intro to the Philly special, the 30 for 30.
30 for 30. That premieres next week on ESPN.
Just broke today. Just revealed today. Now, it didn't cross my mind because all I did was just watch the intro. It's 75 seconds. I just tweeted out at Sean_Brace and tagged Middays at 975 Middays. So go ahead and give us a follow and retweet it as well.
The Philly special.
It is outstanding. Sal Pal's the voice.
Get out.
Boys to Men, Motown Philly underneath. Adam Joseph makes an appearance.
Well, as long as it's not all the Boys to Men. Because the one guy's Sean Stockman's he's the man. Anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a 49er fan.
I'm 3/4 kidding.
Yeah. It's outstanding. Nice job across the board. And even for me, I'm like, yeah, all right, this play.
The documentary features the 5 central figures of one of the most iconic plays in Philadelphia sports history. Doug Peterson and the 4 players who touched the ball in the Philly. Nick Foles, Jason Kelsey, Corey Clement, Trey Burton. So is it just on the play?
It's just on the play, but it's also going to talk about the Super Bowl going into that game or a little bit around the team. But it's got some really cool Philly flavor. Like whoever put this together, do we know who directed this?
I do.
Who?
It's produced by NFL Films, directed by Angela Zender and Shannon Furman.
I don't know if they're Philly people, but they have snack
feels like it.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. This 75-second little hitter is incredible.
Angela Zender is the co-director of, she's from NFL Films.
Well, they do great work over there.
Yep.
It's got me by the you-know-what. Dude, I got goosebumps just watching a little intro here.
The intro was that guy. I didn't see it.
Oh.
I saw the announcement that it was coming out.
You want Philly?
Yeah, Doug was running a fullback dive on the play, which would have never worked.
It's on 1 yard line.
No, he was running a I think it was like a wide receiver screen or sprint left or something. He talked about it. They asked him they asked Nick, like, what were you going to run? And Nick said the play. It's like that would have never worked.
Tom Brady throws for 500-plus yards, and they still win the game.
The NFL named
Let's make some noise. Come on.
named the play the 10th greatest play in league history.
I'd like to know the 9 other.
And the trick play has been tattooed on fans' bodies, printed on T-shirts, and subject of murals.
Is that really written right there?
I'm reading from a CBS News article.
That's hysterical.
Let's make some noise. Come on.
The 30 for 30 will include other key figures of the Super Bowl, including safety Malcolm Jenkins, offensive coordinator Frank Reich, and owner Jeffrey Lurie. The film will also feature fans and media voices, including Ray Didinger, Enzo Cataldi, and Sal Palantonio. There you go.
So good.
Yep.
Snack Time out there playing. You know Snack Time? Good band.
No.
Yeah, they're fun.
Snack Time. Wonder if I make the cut at all in any of it.
Your body is tattooed, huh? We never talked about this. Is that a real tattoo? I've never seen it. Where is it?
My back. You never seen it?
No.
Google it. I show you right now. I'm pretty hairy.
That's all right.
Google me.
Does your wife shave your back? My wife shaves my back.
You know what I do now?
What?
I make my daughter do it. Sometimes Liz will do it, but if I don't feel like having to ask.
Yeah, baby. We got. Oh, wow. Let me see. Look, dude.
So for those of you that can't hear what's happening right now, Brace is walking across the studio looking at the tattoo.
I took my shirt off.
That is hysterical.
I'm wearing a tank top underneath.
So it's Foles' face.
And a Lombardi.
I didn't even see the Lombardi.
Well, yeah, it covers half my back. I almost got divorced because of it, Sean.
You got that big of a tattoo on your back?
All right, so as it goes, I said, because people are such babies in this town, and everybody's got to cry. Carson Wentz goes down with an injury, and then I get to work on a Monday, and then it gets announced pretty much before I go on the air. Yeah, it's a torn ACL, and I had my buddy Dr. Rob, and everything well, it doesn't have to be necessary serious. So everybody's like, it doesn't have to be an ACL. All right, yeah, it's an ACL. He's out.
Yeah.
He's out. So then it's Nick Foles, and I understand why people were so upset. We were staring down the barrel of a Super Bowl, first Super Bowl. It's like, we're cursed. We're never getting it. And then, boom, Carson Wentz goes down. So I go on the air, and everybody's crying. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, the Eagles, they're still going to be the number 1 seed. All they have to do is win 2 home playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. Like, so there's no reason. Nick Foles was a let's make some noise. Come on. Nick Foles was
Let's make some noise. Come on.
was the Pro Bowl MVP.
27-2,
27-2. He's a good quarterback. The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. When they win the Super Bowl, I'm going to get Nick Foles tattooed on my back.
Come on.
Holding the Lombardi trophy.
That week that Monday when Carson went down, that's when you made that statement.
I said it. And I didn't think much of it after saying that. And then as they make the playoffs and they're winning, people are saying, are you really going to get the tattoo on your back? And I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to if they win. And then they won. I remember at halftime of the Super Bowl saying to Liz, saying to my wife, saying, oh, my God, I'm going to have to get this tattoo on my back. And she looked at me and said, you're not getting that tattoo on your back. And I said, yeah, I am. So they win the Super Bowl, and we're making plans for the stupid tattoo, and I'm not including her in the plans because for obvious reasons. And she wants a little tattoo, which you can't do. You looking at a picture of it?
Yes. The thing is huge.
So, Ray, if you know what the picture looks like, if you to know what it looks like, you can't do a little tattoo that's the size of a dollar bill. It needs to be bigger for contrast, right? So I really should have included her more in the plan. So I just left it up to this tattoo artist that we went to. So live on the air, I got this tattooed on my back. I didn't realize it was going to be as big as it was, and it's big.
It is big.
It's big.
Yes.
It is. So every year when I go to the shore, I'll be walking on the beach with my kids, and I'll have people screaming at me because how can you mistake a
Let's make some noise. Come on.
James Spader on my back holding the Lombardi Trophy?
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And now they're rolling out the 30 for 30. You need to get a little spot in there.
On me. But I had been on the Amazon did one thing where they came down to one of the broadcasts and they heard me yelling on the broadcast, and then there was the I don't know, was it the yearbook? Whatever it is, like the whole Super Bowl, like the DVD that you get. I was in the credits at the end in the parade. But yeah, and I don't have tattoos. I'm not a tattoo guy. You probably have some bad tattoos.
I do. I had my name tattooed. I got 2 tattoos when I was in high school.
Oh.
The worst thing you could possibly do. I got my Dodge Omni and drove my Plymouth Horizon. It wasn't even a Dodge Omni. I drove down to the Wyoming Valley Mall from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Thing was shaking. We skipped school, went down there. The guy was all cracked out. He tattooed my leg. I got the Theater of Pain faces from Motley Crue tattooed on my leg. But then I came back a year later and I got my name tattooed on my stomach.
Where on your leg? Your calf? Oh, my God.
What? It doesn't even say Sean anymore. It says Bean.
Oh, my. He has it above his belly button.
Yeah, it's literally, you want to talk about the beach. That's the issue. And then I'll be getting out of the ocean. I put my left arm up like this, and this is how I walk out of the ocean.
So, is it on your calf, the Motley Crue? He's got his cowboy boots on. Oh, my God. Did you get that in prison? You said,
Indian ink.
You said the guy was all cracked out.
He was all cracked up. You literally had to wake him up. Hey, we got somebody here for you.
The best part of the story is I knew my grandmother had the Dodge Omni, and my high school girlfriend had a Plymouth Horizon.
Yes.
And if it got to 40 miles an hour, it shook like it was going to fall apart. Yeah.
Tattoos are literally, honestly, kids, don't do them. Just don't do them.
Don't get tattoos.
No, tattoos are the worst idea possible.
Didn't we do a worst tattoo, something? And we had like a ton of, it's like, if you ask for bad tattoos, trust me, there's a lot of people out there with bad tattoos.
Can you top Sean's bad tattoo? I don't.
For Sixers tickets. No, I don't need to see it. The YouTube chat's seeing it right now. Well, I know that. No, believe me, that's.
Can you top Sean on your belly button? For Sixers.
You can probably, there's probably 1,000 people out there that'll call right now.
Oh, man.
Ray, you have the tramp stamp. What does it say on the back again?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not like the two of you. I'm keeping the ink off my body.
I didn't want this
Smart
damn
man.
thing. And what I should have done is I should have gotten the fake tattoo instead of getting the real one. I was just so stupid. And that the Eagles won, I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll get the tattoo. Not realizing I was getting a permanent tattoo on a third of my back.
Yeah, that is big.
Yeah, it's way too big. And I hate it. Now I don't have to see it.
Did Nick Foles see it?
No. No, I did not. I didn't interview him. I interviewed Nick Foles one time, and it was back in 4Q, the studio behind us, when he was a rookie after he was drafted. That's the only time I ever interviewed him. When the day of the parade, I was going up, and I'm such a loser. I didn't take a selfie with him. I was going up the escalator into the one part where everyone was meeting at the link before we went on to the parade, and Nick was waiting at like the bottom of the escalator. This is right after they won the Super Bowl. I walk in at day of the parade. I walk in and I see Nick Foles, and I'm like, holy crap! And like I tried to say something to him, and nothing came out of my mouth. I was like,
let's make some noise. Come on.
Tattoo on my back. And I didn't take a picture with him. I didn't say, Nick, quick. And I didn't take a selfie or anything. But I have some pictures from that day, brother.
And parade day, everything goes. Oh my goodness, that parade, wow,
unbelievable.
Yeah, you're not going to top that parade.
I don't think that's what Adam Schefter was teasing yesterday.
I'm actually leaning towards Ray a little bit. Sorry.
The only thing that concerns me is how much of a company man he is.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Like, it would be big news to Adam Schefter.
I don't know. Now I'm sitting on it. Yeah.
No. Both things can be true. He is that much of an ESPN robot to do it. I don't think that's what that was, though. But he is. You're right, though.
And remember, he threw meat to the boys. He knew he was throwing something out there. Like that was, let me throw a little something in the middle of you lions. Rawr. What is it? I want to know.
A lot.
The animal impressions with you.
No. I mean, when did that happen? At 9 o'clock yesterday, 8 o'clock yesterday?
Yeah.
For 12 hours, people were literally like gnawing people's arms off trying to figure out what he was talking about.
I took a little brief nap yesterday. I'm a napper. Took like a 25, 30-minute nap during like 1 o'clock, right around that point. Woke up to 3 text messages. People were hitting me all throughout the course of the day.
What is it? Yep. All right, the Rob Thompson thing we tease. What he said to Scott Lauber, where do you hear it? I'm going to hear it for the first time coming up. Your phone calls as well coming up next. Middays with Marks.
The Eagles search for a new offensive
I'll tune in for that.
Absolutely. See how long the two of them go without killing one another.
That sounds like actually good radio. Those two.
It's at the carnival, though. It's a good time for a good cause.
For sure. Will Ricky try to stuff John in a dunk tank?
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple people go to the dunk tank.
Yeah, who's inside? I saw Silvana.
Salciunas and Connor.
I'll be
all
in
three of them.
I'll be in the Poconos, so I
Yes, you already had something scheduled.
Yeah.
Ray, where are you?
New Orleans.
Hey, now.
When are you going to New Orleans?
Rather
Tomorrow.
be there.
You leave tomorrow. When's the game?
Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's going to be like 40 degrees. So nothing like Bourbon
really?
Street with everyone all covered up and
Well,
freezing.
it's going to be being 0 degrees here.
Yeah. Understood.
Where, who's in tomorrow for you?
No one.
No,
I'm
you
on afterwards.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right.
There
You
you
don't
go.
have to worry about that till February 10th.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we got time.
How about that? All right, so play me what Rob Thompson said yesterday. So this is Scott Lauber of the Inquirer, and he asked him whether he felt better about the team.
I think it's to be determined, but I feel better about it. You know, we lose Ranger, and that's a big loss, but that's part of the business too. And but I do feel really good about our bullpen. We lose Matty Strom, who was a big part of our bullpen, but the addition of Keller, who can get both sides out, the addition of Jonathan Bolin, who I think is a really good 2-inning guy that can get righties out. We got some stuff for him to get lefties out. This left-handed, last name Backus, Kyle Backus, he looks really good. He's really interesting. He's got a really low arm slot. So I'm really excited to see these guys.
Love the low arm slot.
Yep, got to get the low. So, I mean, what did you think I was going to go nuts about?
You feel better about the team. Let me go to the bullpen. And Jonathan Bolin and that lefty, Brackus is his name? Yeah, that's why I'm excited about this group.
Well, I mean, I gave a similar answer when I talked, like, the bullpen's probably the strength of this team.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, like, what you're saying is that you're asking him, like, hey, tell me why everything's fine, and you go to the guys I don't even know their names. I know they signed a couple guys.
They
and they're
traded
good.
for Jonathan Bolin. And,
and Backus.
Backus good. Yeah. We got a plan for those guys. They'll be good.
They need to give Thompson a bump in his pay for how much he's pumping this team up this year.
He has. Dave's kind of been, we have a good club, and then he disappears, and then Rob's out on the banquet tour.
We have a good club.
That's what you got to do.
He's been the cheerleader, that's for sure.
And he has been, and I think he's done a good job. I'll give him credit. He has come out, and he has stood behind his team, who, by the way, did win 96 games last year. So as I rebuild myself as a Phillies fan, as we head into February, they did win 96 games last year. How many times are we going to say that, Ray?
Oh, it's going to be the new Jalen Hurts as a Super Bowl MVP.
Put it on a banner.
Yeah. Hey, guys, just reminder, they did win 96 games a year ago.
Right.
We're going to start turning ourselves into Dombrowski.
We have a good club.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good team. And when you think about it, you just got to get to the deadline, see who's available, and then once you make those additions at the deadline, I mean, they traded for Duran and Bader last year, and look how good they were down the stretch.
Did.
And ultimately, by the time they got to the postseason, some things didn't go their way. Turner got hurt in September. Bader got hurt in the playoff series. If Turner throws the ball just to one side of home plate, maybe if Kirkgren makes that play late, they did outscore the Dodgers in that series. So when you think about it, they were right there. I mean, the Dodgers feel like they were lucky to have beaten the Phillies.
You know what you forgot about? The umpire blew the call, and he told JT. He apologized right afterward.
That's actually what the incentives are in JT's contract. If he can get an umpire to apologize to him, he gets the $5 million.
And if
trigger.
he calls the strike, then that run doesn't. None of it happens.
Decisive Game 5.
The Phillies could be World Series champions right now.
Could I ask you a dumb question here that really doesn't mean much, but at the same time could potentially be something that is not what you want to hear and see? Ryan Kirkring.
What about him?
Well, there's already a post on social media. He's down there working out, and it's just like, ugh.
He's your sixth or seventh inning right-handed reliever.
All right, is he going to be able to enter the game without people going nuts? Is he going to be able to ever do anything again in Philadelphia sports without the timeline just being complete harassment?
This is the city, and again, I was a part of this, that gave Trey Turner a standing ovation.
I think Ryan Kirkring can use a little something.
I'm ready. You ready? You ready to do it?
What, you want to do it now?
Yeah, let's give him a standing ovation.
We'll give him a standing ovation because he's down there in Clearwater 2 weeks early.
Maybe it's just me. It doesn't even faze me. I don't know.
Well, it did yesterday with that post. They posted that Kirkring was down there getting early work with JT, and literally every comment was just, he screwed up in a big moment.
No, yeah.
I feel for the guy. I actually like Orion. I thought he pitched well last year,
Yeah,
right?
he's just not a high leverage guy. You can't put him in there in a situation like that. Unfortunately, I don't think they had anybody else to go to in that moment.
Throw to first.
So this, yeah.
Throw to first.
It's unfortunate, but the Phillies didn't try to move him. He's not making any money. He's a good regular season pitcher. He is, if you're down 3-1 and you need somebody to pitch the eighth, he'll come in and get a 1-2-3 inning. If you're up 2-1, he can come in and pitch for the sixth or seventh inning. There's a reason why they added a bunch of right-handed arms to the bullpen this year. They don't have to over-rely on Kirkring. But he's been good.
Yeah.
He's been fine. The bullpen is really good.
I'll never forget what that bar felt like, sounded like.
Oh, my God.
It was dead silent. Gutted. Everybody's just like literally on a knee going.
And now the season's over.
What just happened?
Well, luckily, everyone then turned the TVs over to that Eagles game, and things were going so well against the Giants that everyone forgot about it.
Oh, that's right. The Thursday night game. Oh, that's right. It was tough.
Is that when the guy got arrested talking to Zing? I'm a big fan of your work.
I think so. I think that was that night.
All right. So are you a bigger fan of that guy or the guy that was being led away in handcuffs in the Lehigh Valley? They said, "Do you have anything to say?" And he said, "Go Eagles." It passed away, by the way.
Oh, man.
I reported that. You notice that, Ray?
I didn't know that. I didn't report that.
You know who I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
The guy that said, "Go Eagles."
Yeah.
So I was trying to get him on. And I was like, you know what? This would be great. Get the guy on. Let me see if he's in prison or whatever. And I read his obituary.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Was it in the obituary? Is that how you found out, or you just knew the name?
Well, I knew the name, and I Googled it, and I knew where he was from based on him being arrested. And I Googled it, and it came up the obituary. And it's like, okay, well, that's his age. That was that guy's age at the time. And it said that he was a big Eagles fan. It didn't mention in the obituary he was the Go Eagles guy, but it said he was a big Eagles fan. You know, he died, so I'm you don't want to insult him.
No.
Because he obviously was a big Eagles fan if he was being led away.
Go Eagles.
Yeah, I think it was burglary or something.
So how do you end up in handcuffs but no charges? Like, how does that work?
We did. He was charged.
No, I'm talking about the guy from Giants.
Yeah.
It was Zangaro, what he said.
Well, I think in the stadiums they just throw him in the drunk tank.
Saquon Barkley jersey.
Could argue being in MetLife is worse than being in jail.
Yeah.
Right. That's for sure.
That is a terrible state.
All right, Chuck, we'll grab you on the other side. 610-632-0975. Donovan McNabb was on a podcast. He was asked to compare his team, 2004, to the 2024 Super Bowl team. Who would win? We'll play it, and we'll discuss coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
We're waiting. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Adam Schefter teased something juicy yesterday on the morning show with Kincade and Salciunas, saying we might not just have offensive coordinator news coming this week. By the time they talk to him next, we could have something else to be talking about.
And maybe there'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe there'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see. We'll see.
So we will see, and we will see what they do with the offensive coordinator job. Jim Bob Cooter and Sean Mannion both getting second interviews this week with the Eagles. Flyers lost 5-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets last night. Dan Fladar returned. Travis Konecny had a hat trick, but again, it wasn't enough as they fall now. When they've got the Bruins at 7 o'clock, you can listen to the game on WMMR. And tonight on The Fanatic, you got the Sixers host the Kings, 7 o'clock right here, live on 97.5. This update is brought to you by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals. For a pretty Biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price participation may vary. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best bird stock in town. 97.5 and the Fanatic app.
The East Side Motel.
Damn right.
All right, we're back middays with Mark's 1 o'clock hour of the program ahead, brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Great teams stick together. So does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them 610-831-HAIR. All right, we have the McNabb. I think it's a really interesting discussion, 2004, 2024. Let's clean up a couple things here. Let's go to Chuck in New York. Chuck, go ahead. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was at that game at the Meadowlands watching my phone when everything fell apart in the like everybody, all Eagles fans at the Meadowlands that Thursday night were watching their phone as Kirkering made that move, and everybody's phones were on different delays, and the number of F-bombs that went out in like different waves was absolutely nuts. And as soon as Hurts threw that pick, me and my friends were like, we got to get out of this place. This is toxic.
Yep.
But going to the tattoos, that was a terrible night. But going to the tattoos, my first tattoo was my name on my chest, which was, I got the Latino version, Carlitos, because I grew up in Latin America. But then the reason this is interesting is right before the game on Black Friday, before the Bears game, for my sister's 40th birthday, I have all my family members' names tattooed on me. All I do is names, just the fonts. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get her for 40th birthday, I'm going to get her name in the old school, like Kelly Green Eagles font. Her name's Ellen, so the E's played well. And I will say that since getting that tattoo, nothing has gone well with the Eagles. It's been terrible.
That's the
And
reason.
I think it is that tattoo, but I'm not going to get rid of it. It's still her name. But I will say, as far as the offensive coordinator, at this point, I'm not going to be impressed. Just give me Bob Cooter for the name, so we can be like, don't call it Jim Bob. Don't call it Jim Bob. What is Cooter doing? Stuff like that.
Coots.
Enjoy, boys.
Coots. But you know, we kind of make a joke at it, but I think you're right. If you hired Jim Bob Cooter, people would like the name. Ray, do you agree with this? That if he got the job, people wouldn't be mad because it's a fun name.
Yeah. You can't get mad at Jim Bob Cooter.
Matt Nagy, people are going to be angry all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that Nagy. People call him Nagy. Matt Nagy, I want him fired.
Ray was trying to say that is a way that apparently you pronounce his last name.
We've got like 4 different pronunciations. Not that it matters in this town because we'll get it wrong regardless, but it's Nagy.
He pronounces it Nagy.
I go with the Nag.
So I
Nagy.
found a Chicago reporter that said it's like Peggy, but with an N.
So it's Nagy.
Nagy.
Like an E.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to have to ask him at the press conference. That's all.
Oh.
Right. Tony Bruno once asked Eric Lindros, is it Lindros or Lindros? At his introductory press conference. It was the biggest trades in Philadelphia sports history. And Bruno's down there, and he goes, is it Lindros or Lindros?
Oh, I love it.
Tony's the best. It was awesome. Let's go to Amir in Germantown. Amir, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, how you doing? So I got a silly story about a tattoo.
Yep.
When I was in 11th grade, I got the Millennium Sixers 76ers logo tattooed on my forearm, and we were in the playoffs against the Celtics in the second round back when Drew Holiday, Iguodala, all those Thaddeus Young, all those guys were on the team.
Right.
And I thought we were going to win, so my cousin, he does tattoos, so I went and paid him $40 to get the old 76ers tattoo, and we lost in Game 7. So I remember just flaunting my tattoo prior, and everybody was like, yeah, man, y'all going to win the championship this year. And so we lose. Then the next year, we trade off everybody, and I never got it covered or anything. So when I went to college 2 years later, when I was playing in college, I had to wear an arm sleeve to cover it because we were terrible. We had Michael Carter Williams and all of that, but we only won like 10 games.
Yeah, you had Process 76er tattoo.
The Millennium.
That was pre-process.
Oh, it was MCW. That's what made them turn in the process.
That's it. Oh
yeah,
man.
So that was the worst. I got hell, excuse my language, for years until Joel Embiid started playing.
Well, Amir, Sean is now appreciated. He's all in. Sixers to the finals.
Oh, yeah, contenders. Yeah, absolutely. We are, again, with that victory, it's an opportunity for me to get back on after the loss to the Knicks. And then, of course, that 50-point or 40, whatever, there was a 38-point
You guys
loss.
took that tough. You took it rough.
Yeah, that was a bad job.
Yeah, they were down by 50. They lost by 30.
Correct.
8 or whatever. All right, so they're back tonight. So tomorrow you'll get an opportunity to either jump back off or they're going to the final.
I would hope, as I believe 11.5-point favorites against the Sacramento Kings.
No. Remember the last time we did this? You did a shoebox bet
It's
on the money
mental
line.
health night, Johnny. There's no way they're blowing this one. All right. Of all the nights you shouldn't get anxiety, it's tonight.
You can't do that. All right, Donovan. What podcast was this on, Ray?
Caps Off, I think is what it's called.
Well, listen, there's only a couple podcasts out there, so we
Right.
could just pick which one it is.
Hats off.
Caps Off.
Oh, caps off. And you know what that means? That's, cap. It's no cap. Cap means you're lying.
Caps
Correct.
Off podcast.
I know my lingo.
Has 21.7 thousand followers on YouTube.
That's cap.
I don't know. Good ratings on just like when you go in and you give us a 5-star review when you rate the podcast. Do the same thing with Caps Off. We have a better review rate, but they're close behind.
Who are these people? Who are the caps off people here?
I still don't know.
Who is anyone in today's media landscape?
Doesn't
They
really
booked
say.
McNabb.
New episodes every Wednesday. Well, they got McNabb on the podcast.
They got a good thumbnail.
They do.
Really good thumbnails.
Love a good thumbnail.
Got to have a good thumbnail.
The Donovan McNabb cut, which has got 11,000 views. So they got their views on it. This is the truth between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. So Donovan has the truth behind that. But here he was asked, and this is a good question, because that 2014 didn't win a Super Bowl, but came close. And you can say maybe if one person played a little bit better in the game, maybe they would have beaten the Patriots.
now.
I won't tell you who that player is. However, here is Donovan talking about who would have won 2024 or 2004.
For Eagles team versus the 2024 Eagles team. Best of 7 game series. Who do you think wins?
We do.
Get the I think you lose 4-1.
How so?
2024, that Eagles team might be the best team in my lifetime. That team was loaded last year.
Well, first of all, you got to understand this. We won the division by week 8, week 10.
Well, the division sucked.
We barely played in the last 6 games. Matter of fact, we were playing the Rams on Monday night, and Roger Goodell called us, can you please play the starter? I barely played in the second half of a lot of games that year.
But I'm giving you 7 games. So what's the series then?
In 7 games, we're winning
4-3?
4-2. I'll give you 4-2.
4-2?
Well, listen, that was a really good team. Didn't win a Super Bowl. That was a really good team. Guess what? The 2024 Eagles were a really good team. They were one of the best teams. And I forget where they were ranked when they did the Super Bowl winners in the century. But they were, 2024 was a better team than 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I don't want to do the thing where it's like, well, they won a Super Bowl, so you have to say they're better than the Eagles in 2004 because the Eagles didn't win a Super Bowl. But that team was really good. That defense was really good. That was a very, very talented team. It had T.O. Of course, Donovan's going to say they would win. But, come on. They're not going to win.
Yeah, not going to win. 2024 was a team that clearly didn't get its due. I think it snuck up on some people, and people were trying to play, a weak opponent against the Commanders, and, of course, in the conference. And then when they absolutely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs, who were in rare air themselves, 40-6, mind you, it was like, all right, the Eagles just won. It was a bad day by the Kansas City Chiefs. No, the Eagles did not get their due after blowing the doors off the Kansas City Chiefs. They are clearly one of the best teams in NFL Super Bowl history.
Yeah, for sure. The whole year, what did everybody say the whole year? Not only nationally, but locally, people were saying, the usual suspects, you can't win like this. You can't win running the football. You can't win with the passing game not being good enough. You can't win like this. You get to the playoffs, when you face the tougher teams, you can't win like this. And all they did was win like that the whole time. Now, Jalen Hurts went nuts throwing the ball in the Super Bowl, so they couldn't just run their way all the way to the Super Bowl. I think what sets them apart is the defense. The Eagles, in the 2004 defense was very good. The Eagles' defense in 2024 was the best defense in the league. And they dominated in the Super Bowl. You know who didn't dominate in the Super Bowl in 2004? Donovan.
Yeah.
They should have won that game. They were actually the more talented team. They should have won in 2004. That's the disappointing thing. And they had missed opportunities. They had turnovers. They had chances where they could have put points up on the board. Donovan had I don't even really remember the game. You know what I remember most from that game? Greg Lewis touchdown, because I had $1,000 on the Eagles, at whatever the number was, and it backdoored the spread, and I won, and the Patriots won the Super Bowl. But I remember leaving this bar in Fairmount being like, all right, well, at least I won my bet.
Yeah, I remember Rodney Harrison getting the interception, and I'm like, please go down, and he did, and
it was it.
Yeah, that was it. The wagering. Hey, even back then, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind. No, it was the Patriots, the Patriot way. A lot is being discussed about those days, of course, with it being Super Bowl week or 2 weeks leading up to it, Bill Belichick news, and now this piece of content from Donovan McNabb. Thank you. It's good. It's fun to revisit those days.
Ray, you were 4 years old. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I'll say the one I watched last year was better.
Yeah.
Going through it, like I went through and was trying to get, okay, how many second halves did he really not play? Like it was obviously a really great season for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were 13-1, and they had it all locked up. They could shut everybody down. Like that's great. That's wonderful. This team comes out of the bye week. They sneak past the Browns, and from that point on, they found what their identity was. They had one of the best seasons by running back in NFL history. They had one of the best defenses that we've ever watched. And when they needed to in the postseason, it wasn't like, oh, they're just going to get through the NFC. No, they're going to smack the absolute you-know-what out of the Commanders to get there. And then, guess what? You're faced with a dynasty. One team lost. One team smoked them.
But to Donovan's point, and he's got a good one, is that they trucked everybody. They had the one game against where they lost. They were undefeated. I think they were undefeated. They lost to the Steelers.
Yep.
And that's where T.O. and Donovan, T.O. was jawing with Donovan on the sideline. And that's where it was like, you didn't think you're going to have any problems between the two. And it's like, yeah, you're going to have problems between the two. But like they were trucking everybody. They were so much better than everybody else. And the NFC East did stink at the time. Giants were awful. Yep. Washington was awful. I think the Cowboys were awful too, right? They were in the midst of like was that Dave Campo Cowboys? Regardless, the NFC East was bad, but the Eagles were also just that much better than everybody else. So I don't think entering the playoffs, the Eagles of last year, of 2024, were more dominant than the Eagles of 2004. They weren't. But at that point, entering the playoffs, the Eagles were the better team because they could on defense dominate and they could run the ball with Saquon Barkley. The Eagles as a whole through the entire 2004 season were the better team. They were. There were games where Donovan said they didn't play the second half. Games were over by the end of the first half. They dominated the team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, the Eagles snuck up on people in 2024, like a little bit. 2004, there was no sneaking up on everybody. They were built to win. They had lost 3 consecutive NFC championships, championship games, and T.O. was added to be the guy that put him over the top, and he did. And you knew it.
It's crazy to see the box score and revisit it. 9 grabs, 122 for T.O. on one leg, 14 total targets in that game. McNabb, 30 of 51, 357, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. He was sacked 4 times.
Yep.
He ran the ball. He only had one rushing attempt, so they kept him in the pocket there. Westbrook, 15 for 44 in that game as far as running.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I've always been a guy that said we don't talk enough about Brian Westbrook in this town, and I know he was here for many years on the Fanatic. I used to co-host the show with him.
We did a show from the Golden Nugget with them.
Do you remember that?
It's a great time.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yep.
B West, best guy ever.
The man.
Love B West. He's one of my favorite Eagles of all time. Like when I look at this team, Devontae's one of my guys. B West was that guy of that generation. So good. Everything that he did. I used to marvel at how he used to block blitzers that would come in. He would, because he's not a tall guy, but he's built. He would do like a linebacker would come free on a blitz, and B. West would just chuck him, just bounce him off. He was so good at every facet of the game. You never had to worry about it. And I remember early in Shady's career, I remember B. West talking about it, that it's not just about running the football. When you're out there every down, if you want to be considered an every down back, yeah, you got to be able to catch the ball. You got to be able to pick up blitzes. Otherwise, you're going to get your quarterback killed. And Brian was so good out of the backfield. The screen game, which just hasn't been seen by the Eagles in I don't know how many years now.
He had 7 catches in that game.
Man, he was so good.
Yeah.
And Andy didn't like to run the ball whole heck of a lot, and he would use the short passing game like that. But Donovan, again, another underrated part of Donovan's game was how well that team, how he would sell the screen better than any quarterback I've seen in Eagles history for sure. The line was good at it. You had the right running back to do it. But Donovan was really good at selling the screen.
B. West, third-round selection from Villanova, Ray. I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Andy,
How about
since
that?
I'm a Villanova guy. Andy Talley, I mean, he was just inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. The highlights that they put out, I didn't know, right? I knew how great he was, obviously, with the numbers. If you're being selected in the third round from Villanova, you're pretty darn good.
You're right.
But those highlights were insane. Dude was incredible. You look at some of the numbers that he was able to put up there, 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. Just insane career with Villanova.
I wish Temple would play Villanova.
Yo, Temple,
every year and get in the same conference.
They should. Temple and Penn State this year, electric.
Oh, Ray, you going to be down there for that?
Down at the link,
absolutely.
too, baby.
Kidding me?
Oh, I can't wait. Matt Campbell's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Be down there wearing my Penn State jersey.
I'm sure
Ray.
you will.
We are. Going to pack the place,
I
that's
would
for sure.
prefer that.
What, you'd prefer I root for Penn State?
Yeah.
I would never.
Those Villanova Temple games are really good.
They are.
They had the two off the
At the Mayor's Cup, they called it for,
There you
what,
go.
2
Yep.
seasons? Yeah, but I think my first Temple football experience as a student was them losing to Villanova at the lake.
I
Like,
remember
all right,
that game.
yeah.
All right, give me some text on what people are saying about the 2004, 2024. I'm assuming it's going to be mostly 2024. Rob in Minnesota. Rob, how are you, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Rob?
So, I just want to start off by saying Donovan McNabb is one of my favorite quarterbacks. So, I just need to say that before I go into this. And the note on Westbrook. Westbrook is the only player, I believe, in FBS history to have 1,000 and 1,000 in the same season. So,
That's
kudos
something.
to Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
So, I believe I think Donovan was tripping when he said that because I'm just trying to figure out. So, you had T.O. on one side, so you figured Slay would have probably took him. So, you got Quinion on the other side. Anybody else the Eagles had at wide receiver is shut down. That was completely, they're gone. You put, who was the tight end? Brent Selleck? So I'm not knocking Brent Selleck, but we had people that would have shut Brent Selleck down. And
No, the tight end was Dallas Goedert in this last Super Bowl.
No. I'm talking about for Donovan. It was Brent Selleck, correct?
L.J. Smith.
L.J. Smith was the tight. Oh God, that's even worse. So figure
Poor LJ.
Donovan's going to hold on to the ball forever. Again, I love this guy, but he's going to hold on to the ball forever, and he's going to throw some ankle balls in there.
I don't. You know what, Rob? I don't even want to make this about Donovan because I was arguing with John Kincade before we started the show, and I said, well, the biggest spot in his career he's throwing up. I only want to rip Donovan because I think Donovan gets ripped too much. I don't know if anybody was beating that defense, Eagles defense.
No.
The pressure they were getting up the middle from Jalen Carter. I don't know anybody that was beating that team that day. The way they were playing.
Who was in the middle? Was that Honey Buns in them?
Hank Fraley. In fact, Hank Fraley was the weak link of their team. Was the weak link of their line.
Yeah. Now you're talking Bill Williams and Jalen Carter.
And Jordan Davis. And I guess Jamal Jackson not center yet. I'm trying to think who their guards were on that team. They still had a good offensive line, but they didn't have the Eagles' offensive line. They didn't have this offensive line they did this year. The lines favored the Eagles on both. And the Eagles' defense was good in 2004. Really good, for that matter. But this defense was something different.
Trey, Mayberry, Fraley, Hicks, and Runyon.
Yeah, it was Mayberry. Hicks. Artis Hicks.
There you go.
Wow.
Hey, before you cut me off, I'm 52. I got a tattoo when I was about 19 years old. It said F-a-ball, and it spelled the words out. When you were talking about walking with your arm covering your tattoo, yeah, I totally get that. And the granddad down, getting out of school and, beach vacations. And I got bigger. My stomach is bigger, so it's like a blip.
You're funny. Call again, Rob.
Rob,
Call
you're the
again.
man. That's exactly the truth. Believe me, at one point in time in my life, I was skinny. Actually, I had abs, I promise you. And that's when I decided to do this, numbnut that I was back in those days. And it did say Sean at one point in time. And
You don't think about what it's going to look like when you're 40.
No,
Yeah,
not at all. Absolutely not.
Ray was looking in with horror. Wait, what were you in there thinking, Ray?
Well, when it sounds like that for a phone call and he's going in it actually said the word, I'm always worried that someone's going to drop something that I can't hear.
Gotcha.
That's the horror that I'm looking at. Also the horror of thinking of his family with him walking around with that.
Yeah, I routinely, because if you think about it, when we were growing up, Grandma and Grandpa didn't have tattoos, or if they did, it's like they were in the Navy or something. You know what I mean? They didn't have a sleeve.
Got the sailor tattoo.
I'm in Wegmans. I'm in Collegeville. I'm in Wegmans, right? Well-to-do area, right?
Yeah.
And there's an older lady. She's probably in her 60s or 70s, and her name's I think it's like Rita or something like that. And she's got arm tattoos and all this other stuff. So now what you're going to see is all the people our age that got all these tattoos. What are we going to look like when we're 60s and 70s?
Yeah, the funny thing is kids these days, I don't believe are getting tattoos. I think that's kind of like a fade that they're not doing. They're not drinking. What do you people do?
They're not drinking.
Ray, you don't get tattooed?
I'm taking care of the alcohol for everyone. Someone else could take care of the tattoos for me.
Right. You have one vice.
Yeah.
No, he's smoking. Because the kids don't smoke, so Ray smokes.
Yeah, so someone could get tattoos, all right? I'm taking all the vices over here. Someone else could do that. That's the most harmless of all of them.
You know what they're doing? Nothing.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
Right.
I saw John Cougar Mellencamp's going out on tour. He was literally smoking a cigarette while he was on the treadmill. He's like, I'm getting ready for the tour.
No, he wasn't.
Really? Unless it was an AI video.
I'm sure he's in great shape, too.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette on a treadmill.
Johnny Cougs. Last bit of take here on the 2004 offensive line. Juan Castillo, come on down. The second time he's been mentioned this week here on your
Love
show.
Juan. You ever talk to Trey Thomas about Juan? Oh, he loves telling Juan stories.
Well,
Juan was a wild man.
We had some fun with the OC, and I said, well, Juan Castillo, come on down.
Yeah. Wow. You never know. All right. Is Giannis interested in coming to Philadelphia? What? Yes, that Giannis. There's a report out there that says he might be. We'll tell you about that coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What will it be? I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And yesterday on the morning show with Kincade and Salciunas, Adam Schefter had his weekly hit and got everyone freaking out about what exactly could be going on with the Birds this week. Outside the offensive coordinator search, is there something else that might come down?
And maybe it'll be even more than that by next week.
What are you hinting at?
Maybe it'll be even more than discussion than an offensive coordinator. We'll see.
We will see. As for the offensive coordinator search, a pair of candidates getting their second interviews this week, Jim Bob Cooter and Sean Mannion. As for elsewhere in town, the Flyers lost 5-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Dan Vladar returned from injury. Travis Konecny had a hat trick, but it was not enough for them against Columbus. The Bruins tonight at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that game on WMMR. Sixers have the Kings tonight right here on The Fanatic. You can listen to that game starting at 7. This update's brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
7.5 The Fanatic. John Mark, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. And everybody out there watching on YouTube, thank you. Good afternoon. If you haven't watched on YouTube, you should. You can watch live every day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or what I normally do, I watch at least a portion of it. Like, what did I watch? I watched the Mr. NBA segment yesterday with Jason Martinez as he went 5 for 5 on his Sixers trivia.
How about that?
So I'll be like, all right, what do I want to watch back from today? So you can go back and you can watch it, whatever from the show on demand. Also, like we do off-air stuff. Like last night, I did a reaction to Adam Schefter, which got put up there on the Fanatics, 97.5 The Fanatics YouTube. So just make sure you're subscribing. The subscriber numbers, Sean, are going through the roof.
That's what we like to hear.
Yep.
What we like to see.
So make sure you check it out. And if you listen to the audio-only version, wherever you get your podcasts, on demand, just make sure you leave us a nice 5-star review, Sean.
You said you responded to Adam Schefter's comment. What did Adam Schefter say?
Adam Schefter said that, I don't even know. Do we even think anything's going to happen now? Adam Schefter said there's big news is coming maybe by next week. I don't know.
Got, what, 6 days to make good on it?
He does.
It's a good call.
But he said maybe, too. So if he comes on and be like, what happened? He said, well, I said maybe. What do you want me to do about it?
So he's a Wednesday guest, weekly guest for the boys, right?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Many years.
I'm going to write that down so I don't miss that.
All right.
Appointment radio next week.
So Giannis, it is, I mean, I think everybody sensed that this was coming. And the Bucks went from, you think about this, they fired the coach and they brought in Doc. And the entire team, they're like a 500 team since they brought in Doc.
500?
Aren't they?
Oh, I believe under 500.
Under 500. They ended up, I think, 500 the rest of that year.
Yeah, I know. I saw a number yesterday that said
maybe they're just above.
I saw a tweet from a former player ripping him. Who was it?
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder.
It's like, wow.
Like the former players are the ones that are the best because they go right after them.
Oh, yeah.
Record Bucks. But anyway, whatever it is, he's went in there.
Slightly above 500.
85 and 79.
I apologize. I take that back. I was wrong.
85 and 79. So, like, it's been, and like, I don't know what's going on up there, but when you're talking about one of the best players of his generation and a champion, and there was always a wonder of, will he stay in Milwaukee? It's a smaller market and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's gotten to a point where it seems like he's unhappy and the Bucks are listening to offers, and it looks like he's going to be traded. Right? So it's going to be traded. Now it's a matter of where he's going. So he has to want to go to the place, but the place also needs to be able to make the trade.
Sure.
So the Lakers just can't say, oh, well, we want him, so we're going to give you a Dalton Connect in a first rounder, and you're going to give us Giannis.
Sold.
Right. Like, we've seen stuff like that happen before, but hopefully the Bucks don't allow that to happen. But where is Giannis willing to go? Well, according to a new report by Mark Stein and Jake Fisher, Giannis is willing to go to the Philadelphia 76ers.
What?
Correct.
Oh.
Now, Ray, it is believed that he would be on the wish list, or he is on the wish list of Giannis, because he really likes Tyrese Maxey. So it makes sense.
I mean, who doesn't?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a young guard that has everything that you're looking for on the court. He's exactly what you're looking for as a player. He's not a pain in the ass. He's not a John Morant. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a guy that you got to worry about with any of the off-the-court stuff. Like, he is exactly what you're looking for, Tyrese Maxey. So the question is, would you be interested? And I don't know how you wouldn't be interested. I just don't know how you make it happen, Sean.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It's going to cost you Edgecombe.
Of course.
But then you don't have a lot of draft picks to trade.
No.
And then I don't really know what else you have to trade that would make it an attractive trade.
Yeah, look, if we're being honest with this discussion, it's great to see, and we appreciate the way. That's the biggest thing that I'm taking away is what his thoughts are on Tyrese Maxey. But bottom line is this. There are plenty of teams out there that have a heck of a lot more when it comes to the capital in that department than the 76ers, specifically the Golden State Warriors, who have a boatload of picks and high picks at that. So this is going to be tough. The Houston Rockets, of course, with KD, they're all in, and they have some really good young players that they can trade. It depends what Milwaukee wants in return. This is an easy one for me, though, boys. Giannis wants to come to Philadelphia. You move heaven and earth to do it. I'm with you as far as VJ. He's tremendous. Giannis is one of the greatest players in NBA history. He is a freak. He's 31 years old. He's got plenty of life oh, there's not even a question in my mind that I would do whatever it took to get Giannis in a 76ers uniform. I just said to you that if he plays with Kevin Durant, that's must-see television every single night. Like, I will tune in to watch the Houston Rockets play NBA basketball if he suits up with Kevin Durant in the starting five. If you're telling me I get Giannis, Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, oh, you can have whatever you want.
I just don't know how you do it. But, Ray, would you be interested in training for Giannis?
Nope, not doing it.
Come on.
All right, why?
Come on, man.
Look at the calf injuries over the last couple of years. I mean, this is a guy that's getting into his mid-30s. That is a
He's 31. That's not mid-30s. Hold up.
About to turn 32 soon,
He's
right?
young.
That's
not mid-30s. Mid-30s, 35. Come on.
Okay, so I've got him under contract into his mid-30s, and his calf sucks. There's your point. Like, the calf, we saw it. At the pace of the way this league's played, Tyrese Halliburton got all the way to the finals, blew his Achilles. Last year, Tatum, in the postseason, there goes his Achilles. This is a guy that's got a bad calf that continues to take time off due to that calf. And listen, every time I say this, people will go, oh, you just hate the guy. Now, I think Giannis is a great player, so I'll give you the caveat that everyone has to. He's a champion, the whole thing. Giannis, in that series against the Bucks, if Kevin Durant doesn't have a size 17 foot, the Nets send them home. It's a sliding doors moment for the NBA. We're in a whole different world. Giannis has probably already been in a big market for a couple of years at this point. He ends up getting past that second round. They win in overtime. They win the championship. It's been great. Since then, he hasn't been able to stay healthy in the playoffs at all. And we'd be doing the same conversation we do every year here with, well, if Giannis gets himself healthy and things turn the right way, I'm trading for the same problem I already got.
Yeah, but I mean, like, everything you said is true, but you would still do it at the same time.
No, it wouldn't.
It's just a matter of how do you get it done. Because you're not going to trade Maxey to get him.
No, you can't trade Maxey.
Right. They're not going to take Embiid. Like, you're not going to include him in the trade. I mean, really, what you're looking at is what do you have to give up to do it? Because, I mean, honestly, like, if you want to win a championship, you got to take risk.
Okay.
And you're not winning a championship with this team right here. You're not.
I don't think I'm winning it with Giannis.
I mean, you're set up to do it.
Am I?
Yeah.
How much am I giving up? So I'm giving up VJ, and I'm giving up one of the big contracts. And probably someone else because
you're going to give up a ton. You got to give up a ton.
I mean, they want every first-round draft pick you have, and don't they not have a lot of first-round draft picks to give?
Okay, they don't have a lot to give in terms of first. I think the Sixers have at least two to offer up.
Okay.
So you give those two. You give them VJ. You give them one of the big money contracts because you have to make the money work.
I don't think that's getting it done, man.
No, it's
so
not.
You have to give them more.
No,
yeah, but what, you have nothing more to give.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving them this player, that player, this player. I mean, go look at that Harden deal. I don't think anyone looked at that return that the Clippers gave the Sixers as something that was tremendous. If a guy's not happy in a city, they can get him out. But you're going to trade a considerable amount of depth from this team to trade for a guy that's been out with a calf injury. That's going to, if it doesn't work for you this year, he's going to get to age 32. He's going to have a history of a calf injury. And then, oh, by the way, when's that contract up? You think Giannis is coming here and saying, no, I'm good. Yeah, don't extend me. Don't pay me a ton of money. Like, you're going to end up giving him another contract.
You're right.
Embiid, Maxey, and Giannis in the starting five. I don't care who the other two are.
Could you imagine?
Oh, I mean, that sounds like a parade down Broad Street.
And you know what? You know what? You actually have the GM that could get a deal like this done.
Yeah, you're not lying
This
about
is a
that,
Daryl.
Morey.
This is a Daryl Morey type trade. It's like what 4-way trade where I can get a first round draft pick out of this team, and I can get a conditional trade, and I can do this and a pick swap and everything else. I mean, you would literally have to. It's like when you're hungry, but you don't have anything in your house, and now you got to figure out like how can I actually get something to eat. And you're able to scrape a couple things from here and a couple things from there, and you find something in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, outside Edgecombe, that's what you really have. Your draft picks aren't any good.
I think I just did that yesterday, matter of fact.
Yeah, you can make it happen. Yeah. But, I mean, like, what do you really have to trade outside of Edgecombe and some draft picks and Paul George maybe to...
It's a fun conversation to have right now, but unfortunately they're going to be on the outside looking in, right? Like you have teams that would just move heaven and earth to get them. A team like the Miami Heat we're not even discussing. Would the Mavericks be interested? I think that they might. There's so much more capital out there for a lot of these teams, but I just think it's funny where I disagree with Ray. I don't know how you say no to Giannis. He is unbelievable. I get it with the health. He still played 67 games last year. He's averaging 28 right now. He's played 28 games. He's dealing with it. I'm with you. That's definitely a concern. But, man.
Is his brother coming the trade, too?
I think so.
Has to.
Yeah,
okay.
I think
I'm definitely in then.
I'm just saying.
He's got a podcast.
Can you imagine? I would. Yeah, right. Could you imagine the buzz? You want to talk about?
Oh, my God. The city would be on fire. Ray, Ray is the guy that says no, and then when it happens, he's the first one down watching the game.
I respect it from
I have
Ray.
season tickets. I'm there all the time.
You do have season tickets? Look at
Yeah.
you. I do respect it. And oh, by the way, that Slam magazine cover was incredible yesterday. And here I'm saying trade them. Do you know the Slam magazine cover?
No, I
it was
missed
so
it.
Good.
Edgecombe?
Edgecombe and Tyrese.
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's like you almost hope it doesn't present itself to happen because you don't want to you don't want to trade them.
Yeah, I feel dirty
you know,
even saying
you
it.
know that you would have to.
You have to.
Yeah,
It's
and
honest.
it's very unlikely. 'Cause I want to hear the fans say, "Well, I'm not including Edgecombe, but they can have anything else that they want." Give them Paul George and some draft picks,
Please. Hey, Paul George just hit 9 3-pointers Monday night, so you're never going to get more return for his value than right now.
Zach in Pottstown has an interesting point about them not being a good fit together, Giannis and Embiid, which is interesting.
I'll make anything work
All right,
between
we'll
those
talk
two.
to Zach. The YouTube chat recap is coming up next as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Phillies will be in clear.
go Bill Colarulo. Not Calarulo. Colarulo.
Call on me.
Correct. So during the break, we're looking at some Sixers have 3 first-round draft picks to trade. They just don't have anything else. And some people are saying you have to trade Maxey to do it, which I'm not doing.
Maxey's a no-go for
Would he want to come here if Maxey wasn't here?
This all started because he wants to play with Max.
Right,
Correct.
exactly.
But if you want, and you got a better shot at getting Giannis, or at least getting Milwaukee's attention if you're talking about trading Maxey. And now I feel really dirty. Now I feel like I need a shower just even talking about trading Tyrese Maxey. But this is what you would have to do because of all the
So you would? I would.
Oh, man.
He's officially arrived. He's not just an all-star, he's an all-star starter.
He's got so much room to grow.
And he does. He really does. When you're looking like one of the reasons why they drafted Edgecombe was they really liked what he offered as far as a culture standpoint.
Yeah.
Now you got your 2 young guys. It's like, and there's nobody that's going to outwork Edgecombe, right? Like he's got that mentality of like, man, he's got like a Kobe mentality.
Yeah.
So you trade him because that gets you Giannis, but
I could have moved Maxey.
No, you can't. He's already arrived.
I couldn't trade Tyrese Maxey. The potential just to see him take even, and then a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of the year, I think I was saying that this dude is going to go down as Mount Rushmore as far as 76ers are concerned. And that's what I think about Tyrese Maxey, one of the 4 best players this franchise has ever seen.
Wow!
After his career is all said and done,
That's something.
I believe that will be the case.
All right, so who are the 3 that remain on?
Doc.
I
mean, does Will have to go on it? AI.
So if we were doing modern era, which leaves Wild off, okay, just to help you with the argument, because otherwise you can't do it. AI,
Yep.
Doc,
Joel.
Joel.
A matter of fact, when I tuned in yesterday, there was a survey on the YouTube Watch
Survey says.
by the Fanatic, and it said, who had the better career right now, Joel Embiid or Charles Barkley?
I was saying Embiid.
I was saying Embiid as well.
I said Embiid, and you would think that I'd be the opposite, but
and
Embiid.
And he's not done.
Right. No, he's not. But you look at what Embiid did, and Barkley doesn't have the postseason success, and I'm not blaming him necessarily, but he didn't make it to an Eastern Conference final.
Yeah.
He didn't make it to an NBA final. Now, Joel hasn't either, but look at their numbers.
Yes.
And both first bout Hall of Famer, great players, top players ever.
Yep.
But I like Charles better. Actually, I'm more of a fan of Charles than Embiid. But if you're being objective, because what I had said was Embiid's the most talented player that I've ever seen in Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely.
More talented than AI, more talented than any.
His touch alone is absurd. How does that guy, the size he is, be able to shoot the basketball with that gifted touch?
Reggie White, Joel. I don't even know if Iverson's special, but
yeah.
I don't think you have the Saquon as far as being athletic and things like that, the things that he does. But still, like what Joel does at that size, the touch, when he shoots foul shots and he don't even touch the net, they're like he's unbelievable.
70+ in a game. It's insane.
Let's go to Zach. Zach in Pottstown. Zach, what's up?
Yo, brother.
Yo, brother.
Long-time caller, first-time listener here.
Oh, what's up?
This Giannis pair with Embiid is like laughable. Like, you saw this. Embiid was paired with Al Horford, and Sixers fans said, "Oh, Al Horford's just old and washed up." They got rid of Horford, and then he became a key piece on a championship Celtics team. Embiid can't shoot the three.
Right, but hang on. That was more because Horford needed to guard the center. And you couldn't have them both on the floor at the same time because of defensive reasons. That's not the case with Giannis.
He guarding anymore. He has one leg.
I mean, I
can't jump. Like, he's stuck in the paint or around the paint. Like, he can't shoot. He's 28% from three. Giannis is like 25% from three. So they're both going to try to like do this mid-range drive to the basket. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, if you want to get, you need to do some sort of like 3-team trade where you're getting rid of Embiid. Like, otherwise,
no.
More
I'd be open for
you
that.
want to get rid of your backcourt for the next
No,
10 to 12
look,
years
again,
for a 31-year-old who's hurt?
But you're not getting. You're not
injured center.
Well, you don't. I mean, Zach, it doesn't seem like you want Giannis, but you just can't trade Embiid and you're going to get Giannis. You can do a 17-way trade. Embiid doesn't have that ton of value with his contract,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. Otherwise, it's just like this is useless Philly.
No,
slapdick radio, man.
No,
We're trying
come
to get
on,
Giannis,
Zach.
but we don't want to. I know. I hate to
It's
do it
not.
to you,
It's
Mark,
not. It's not
that's
because you
what's
know what,
happening, like,
Zach. Do you know what? It's not. Hang on.
Giannis.
Zach. Let me talk for a second, please, because it's not. Immediately, if you make this move, right, they go right to the front as Eastern Conference favorites as far as odds are concerned.
Well, it doesn't
That's
mean
not
they,
a fluke.
It doesn't mean they win anything. When a story comes out that says Giannis would go to the Sixers because he'd like to play with Tyrese Maxey, now the conversation is, can you make it happen?
Jake Fisher, Mark Stein. That's not us. That's two guys that are connected. And again, I don't. You're not taking Maxey off my hands. If you wanted, I can make it happen with VJ. It pains me to say that, sure. But I'm sorry. You make this move. You bring Giannis to town. You automatically go in front of the Knicks. I don't know if Tatum's coming back. There's question marks about that with the Celtics. The Pistons are the number 1 seed right now. They would be light years in front of the Pistons for my money. Cavs,
Maybe.
Come on now.
Maybe.
They're contenders for the East, currently constructed. You bring Giannis to the table.
They are currently constructed.
Yes. Did you see that game against the Milwaukee Bucks when Giannis didn't play? Oh, by the way.
I did.
Why didn't he play?
Huh?
Why didn't he play?
Sorry,
calf.
You're breaking up over there, Ray. I can't.
All right.
Bad.
YouTube chat recap. Let's get to it.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Go.
According to Herb, the Eagles' top offensive coordinator candidate needs to have running plays and passing plays in his playbook. Matt in Knoxville.
That's true, Matt. That is, that's kind of his style. He likes to run the ball, multiple fullbacks, and he likes to throw the ball. Run the ball, throw the ball. That's his philosophy.
How is he going to the Super Bowl?
I don't really understand.
All right.
I don't know why. He says, hey, I told you 6 months ago. And I'm like, I wasn't on the radio 6 months ago, Herb. But he's going to the Super Bowl. He thinks he's getting tickets from Pete from Jakey and Pete's. Mr. Lurie, Jeffrey Lurie's going to help him get the tickets. That's how the story goes.
All right.
What's next?
Good luck.
Sean, you definitely look like a Nissan Altima guy. If Bayless from the YouTube chat.
He does.
I had a Chevy Camaro. I had a Jeep Wrangler. I had a Jeep Cherokee, not a Grand Cherokee. I had a Jeep Cherokee. I had a Nissan Altima. I've had a Toyota Highlander, and now I am in the Toyota RAV4. Minivan, I guess, is calling my name next.
Yep. Yeah, I may be driving the minivan soon. I don't know. I have the Highlander, but my wife has a minivan.
I want an RV, though. That's what I really want.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see you driving around.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's next?
Nothing like staying true to a bet and getting another man's face tattooed on your body. I appreciate it, John. Nick F. from Philly.
Correct. My man stands by my word.
Ooh, another man's face is on your body.
I could have just said, hey.
That's good.
Screw all you guys. I'm not getting some tattoo on my back. Just be happy the Eagles won. Nope. I actually did it. And then when I came home with it, and when I say there was issues for a while. There were issues for a while. My wife was not happy.
A little bit of tension.
More than tension.
Oh
no, it was a major problem because she's like, you told me that you were going to take care of it. You told me you were going to plan it. You told me it was going to be fine. I'm like, it is fine.
It is fine. It's a good tattoo.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Looks good on you.
So glad I have it. All right, what's next?
Why are they putting Sylvana in the tank? It's Bill who I would want to dunk. MBD from the YouTube chat.
Yeah, Bill's not available.
Oh,
right. He has a prior commitment. As do I. You know what I committed to? Not going to the carnival and being a dunk tank.
Come on. It's for the Flyers' wives.
I hear you. Sylvana will be in there. Ricky Bowe will be hosting. And Bill, I think he's at the Country Club. I think he has an event at the Country Club that day.
Ah, Country Club Colorulo. I like that.
All right, what's next?
Hey, John, would you ever get a tattoo of my face if I come to Philly one day? Quinn H. from Minnesota.
And then I told Bryce Harper that if they won the World Series, I would get his face tattooed on my back.
Wow.
And then they were up 2-1 in the World Series at Citizens Bank Park. And Liz was saying...
Your wife would have left you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have been toast.
Yeah, and I...
It's for the bit. It's for the radio, though, right? I mean,
he doesn't understand that everything's about the bet.
You can get the removed if you need, right?
No, I don't know. Honestly, I would have liked to believe that I would have said no, but I will never make another tattoo bet because I thought I was being funny with Bryce, and then they actually went to the World Series.
When the Sixers win a championship, I will get Tyrese Maxey tattooed on my back.
How about Bona? Adam Bona.
You picked the Sixer.
Coming up next, Unfiltered, Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo. Talk to you later.